and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimized Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXT Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR is a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. SP, XG eliminates Fast Kill MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate of you. Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
About that time.
Let's get him.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to
you. Free Fire is one of the most popular shooting games in the world. And recently, we developed Free Fire Max as a separate app and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimized Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
they got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXC Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal and Y.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew.
Hey yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
About that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
Free Fire is one of the most popular shooting games in the world. And recently, we developed Free Fire Max as a separate app and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimize Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXC Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal and Y.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate of you.
Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
It's about that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
Free Fire is one of the most popular shooting games in the world. And recently, we developed Free Fire Max as a separate app and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimized Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXD Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And BXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past this street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Insects right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate of you.
Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
It's about that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
Free Fire is one of the most popular shooting games in the world. And recently, we developed Free Fire Max as a separate app and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimized Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXC Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal and Y.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Insects right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew.
Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
About that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to ya.
Free Fire is one of the most popular shooting games in the world. And recently, we developed Free Fire Max as a separate app and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimize Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXC Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal and Y.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. and AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill!
Insects right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view.
Hello and welcome to day 10 of the Free Fire MCP Majors Season 2. Yesterday, we saw an amazing day by PXG Radicals as they were the biggest winners with a monster 72 points. That was the second highest score in a play day behind SAF's day 4 of 76 points. Now, I don't know if any team is going to be able to keep up with that, but there's pretty much no chance, even if PXG were to continue on with those scores, to catch up to SAF, who have an amazing lead right now. I think that it's going to be too much of a gap. That might be a little difficult. Anyways, my name is Holler. With me is Danny, and we'll be taking us through all of MCP. This is going to be day 10 today. I'm sorry for going on that diatribe, but hey, how are you doing today on this fine day 10?
I'm really looking forward to seeing how the teams really bring out their strats, because I think we mentioned this yesterday. For anyone that didn't come into yesterday's stream, yesterday all the teams basically had 16 matches left. Right? They completed 4 of them yesterday, so now you're down to 12 matches. This is it. This is the gauntlet. You have to run it if you're going to make it to top 12 and you're not currently in that top 12, because 12 games, it might seem like a lot, but you also have to take into consideration that you need to not only make up for the points that the teams that you're racing against are accumulating, you have to get extra points on top of that. That's a lot to ask for these bottom teams.
Yeah, it's going to be rough right here. And I mean, if we're looking at it, Bloody Head and Do Easy were the two teams that really stuck out to me. They're kind of on the bottom, but before we get into that one, here's going to be the prize pool distribution. This is for the league stage. Of course, this is real money. They're not playing for Monopoly money here. This is the real deal in the sense of first place getting 2,000 USD, 1,800 for second, 1,600, and so forth, all the way down to $400. We're going to give everyone something for just participating in the MCP Major Season 2, but at the same time, you got to know that only the top 12 will move on, and they will go into the big dance, which is going to be the grand finale. That's where there's a clean slate. Everybody's going to be fighting for it. It's going to be one last battle royale to see the next set of prize pool, which is going to be pretty massive, and that's coming up. And Danny, how about you walk us through that one here?
I don't really think I have to say too much about this. $15,000 for the team that manages to secure the Booyah during the final stage. Your champion, the Kings of Season 2. I think this is very self-explanatory. If you miss out on first place, you get a little less than half. It's disappointing that it's a little less than half, but less than half in $7,000 US. I mean, at the end of the day, right, you want that really, really big share of that $15,000. So yeah. Very self-explanatory. These teams they've basically got everything to lose, right? Once you make it to the final stage. Yes, you might get, this little teeny tiny 800, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500. That shouldn't be enough, right? You need to be hungry.
And that's the biggest thing, right? It's 50,000 in total prize pool. That's what we're vying for here, and we're getting into it. It's going to be day 10. We have 3 more days that's coming up, but in terms of the point system, right, this is all about placement points. That Booyah, the elusive one, is first place. That's going to get you 12 points. Second place is going to get you 9, 8, 7, and so forth, all the way down to the dreaded donut/egg, whatever you want to call it, with 11th to 12th. If you get eliminated, you're not getting any placement points, but you can get kill points. Every single kill is going to get you a point, so it does matter in terms of the long game, in the sense of just getting as many kills as possible, as well as surviving throughout the Battle Royale.
Yeah, I mean, that's the general gist of Battle Royales, right? You want to aim for those kills. It's not just about the placement points, because the kills, at the end of the day, are much more stable than those placement points, because you can't guarantee that you're going to make it into the top 3, right? It's a case of a lot of RNG, guesswork, and there's going to be some semblance of research, right? Because you also need to take into consideration, where are all the teams dropping? Are you going to run into SAF? Are you going to run into one of the top dogs if you are one of the bottom of the leaderboard teams? You don't want that to happen. Now, I'm going to take a look at our schedule very quickly. We're going to be removing Purgatory. We did play on that map yesterday, and we're going to go back onto Bermuda and then continue on with the Kalahari madness.
All right, we're going to continue the madness. Yeah, that's going to be going on. And we saw a lot of good games yesterday on Kalahari. So it's good to see that one going back into the play. And because it completely changes the style of teams, right? In terms of, do they go for the late game? Do they look to just kind of use cover? Or do they look to just kind of play the game a little bit more passively? But yesterday was a little bit different in terms of how Kalahari was played. Teams were a little bit more aggressive, and there was a lot more action, especially earlier. And it was pretty much a change of pace, which we hadn't really seen too much throughout the league.
Yeah, I think it's just teams trying to take advantage of the fact that there are so many teams on that map. You want to get those kills early while there's still a lot of those teams, right? So I think it's just the team showing respect to the fact that kills are important. So it doesn't matter if the map is huge, if it's tiny, if it's never ending, you still need to aim for those kills. So I'm really glad that the teams are starting to change their style, because if they kept playing that slow style, I'd be a bit... you got to change things up a little bit, especially towards the end of the season. Now let's take a look at the overall standings. Now we all know Supreme Assault Forces currently kings of the leaderboard, leading by over, is that 61 points, about 71?
79? Yeah.
70?
With PXG and Supreme Assault Forces? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm counting
79.
backwards. Goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah. But I think yesterday it was almost 100. So PXG, they are starting to close the gap. The question that we're all wondering is, can PXG catch SAF? The possibility is there, but we'll have to see as the day goes on. But we're going to take a look at that bottom end of the bracket, because that's where the race is for that top 12.
And if we're looking at it, it's going to be Do Easy. They had 53 points for them, and they're trying to keep themselves in it. They're on the 12th place. They're on the precipice of getting cut out, so they need to do everything possible to make sure that they're in. Bloody Head was another one that stuck out with 45 points. This is a pretty massive one for them as well. They're in 10th place right now, but it's pretty much anybody's game at this point. Metrics, Argon, Zeth. These are guys that are outside looking in. They really need to pick it up. I don't know if they have the time. There's only 3 more play days to get themselves into that elusive 12th spot, just to give themselves a chance for that big dance finale.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical on whether Metrics and Argon and Y are going to be able to even take over Do Easy. I think, if anything, Do Easy will take over Freedom Rumble, and it's going to be Freedom Rumble that are going to be on the back foot to try and keep their placement. Something interesting I wanted to point out, though, if you take a look at Bloody Head's score. So this team has no booyahs, but they have more placement points against, if you compare them to Tactical Intex's place.
That is actually pretty crazy.
If this is a theory, if somehow Bloody Head can figure out their kill point situation, if they can figure out their plan of attack for the finals, assuming that they make it, we could be looking at a top contender that is basically a dark horse.
Insane. And here are the teams to watch. Supreme Assault Forces, we've talked about them non-stop. I'm sure they're sick of hearing their names. But PXG Radicals, the second place, they again had a monster game of 72 points yesterday, and a new one into the top 3, Fast Kill Malaysia. They had 45 points yesterday. They actually surpassed AKO Legend and Blacklist International, who, might I add, had a terrible day yesterday with only 12 points. Fast Kill Malaysia, this is a team to watch. Definitely look out for them, because they are on a tear. They're very aggressive. They want to get into the action, and they're going to get a bunch of kills doing so.
Actually, I'm not sure if we're supposed to look at Fast Kill MY or if we're looking at Almighty there, because they were showing Almighty graphics, but then they showed Fast Kill names.
Okay, but the Fast Kill is actually the team that we need to look out for. That's going to continue on. They might have had the different pictures and images. So, but yeah, we're going to have also throughout the stream. Feel free for all the Eagle Eye viewers to make sure that you can find the code. We're going to be giving out the Earth M4A1 box. That's going to be given out throughout the stream. The only thing that you need to do is redeem it before the end of the stream. It's not a first come, first serve basis. Anyone can do it. So feel free to take that screenshot, let your friends know, your squad mates, whoever it is, that this is a code. There you go. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you do stay tuned throughout the entire day, because we're going to be flashing at random times, so that make sure you do end up getting that code.
Yep, and I do believe you have about 3 to 4 hours to claim that code, because after that point, the stream will be over and the code will be expired. So do share the code around, claim it yourself, don't miss out. It's free goodies from us. But of course, we do need to start talking about this first matchup that we're looking at. We're going to be jumping onto Bermuda first with Group A versus B. Now, a trend that we're seeing is that, firstly, SAF is in Group B, but this team struggles against Group A, and I can't put my finger on what it is in Group A that just shafts SAF every time.
Okay, well, it's because you have 3 out of the top 5 teams are in Group A, right? That's why. You have the heavy hitters. This has become the new group of death. They are the very strong teams. Blacklist International, who are kind of on the downswing. Fastkill Malaysia, who's picking it up. PXG Radicals, again, those are the teams that you need to look out for. Yes, there's technically only 5 teams in that group, but this is a pretty massive detriment to the team of SAF. Now, mind you, SAF still manages to score average about 58 or so points a day, right? They do not have off days. They have one off day of 42 points, but this is a team that will consistently get points. It doesn't matter who they're up against. This is the team to look out for. SAF, again, just a monster in this league. All
right, so what do you think we're going to be expecting for groups A and B? Is it just going to be the standard, very vanilla, everyone rushing at everybody, bloodthirsty? The map's tiny, it's a little cramped, everyone's going to be able to catch vision of somebody? Or do you feel like because we're coming towards the end of the season that things are going to change and maybe we could look at a slower Bermuda game?
I think you need to start off strong, right? I think that especially if you're Bloody Head and Do Easy, you need to make sure that you do get those kills. But we're going to find out soon enough because it's going to be match 1, Group A versus Group B. AJ Mustachio and Husky, please take it away.
Thank you very much to our lovely hosts once more, Holler and Danley. Yes, AJ, 12 more matches for all of these teams. Woo! It's a big day. It's a very important day. And of course, I think all of the teams are coming in hoping to surprise us with a performance that are considered bigly. But I want to hear your thoughts so far of how the league has been, right? We've seen a lot of shifts on the leaderboard. What is the first impression that you can give me based on what we are seeing right now?
The last time we caught up, Husky, it seemed like SAF had pulled away too far from the pack. And even at this very moment, it seems to be the case. But one point to note is the fact that PXG Radicals are 79 points from catching up to them. Okay, they've cut it down from 100 plus just to 79. But another amazing thing that PXG Radicals is doing is that they have gotten a lead as well from the 3rd place FSK. They are 72 points ahead of them. We are looking at 2 big dogs in this competition that all of the other teams are having such a tough time catching up with. And, so far only SAF kind of had that title with them. And I think it's high time we, indoctrinate PXG into that class as well, right? But they don't seem to be taking all of that screen time because the underdogs who are trying to make it into the top 12, man. We're talking about Views, Bloody Head, Freedom Rumble. These are the 3 teams that have got a lot of heat coming for them, right? Because they might lose their spots because the teams that are under them, Do Easy, Metrics, Argon, MY, they've been bringing so much of fire yesterday, in the past weeks, and I expect that to continue flowing in today as well, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last time we shared the desk together, Do Easy was still struggling, even when I think last week when I shared the broadcast with B Mommy, Do Easy was still struggling. 13th place seemed like no matter what they do, they could not break in. Right now, you look at the standings, Do Easy having a pretty sizable lead in the 12th spot, and Metrics are the one kind of suffering the chances of not making it to the grand finals. And of course, Freedom Rumble, we have to talk about them, right? From top 5 to top 8, and now they are barely in 11th place. Fastkill MY, the counterpart, the little brother in the family that always gets looked down on, top 3, insane.
And the fact of the matter is, if Metrics can find a little bit more of the rhythm that they did bring in, 2 or 3 weeks ago, dude, replacing Freedom Rumble as well as Do Easy up there in the top 12, not going to be an issue at all. Argon MY is literally just right there behind them. As we step into Bermuda, things are going to get hot and crazy, Husky. All of these teams have got a lot on the table. Let's see who reaches up to the top, man.
Yeah, and I'm just happy that teams like Almighty is in 6th place right now. A Tactical Intex, we've talked about them so much. Now they're in top 8. When it comes out to crunch times, these guys, they're stepping it up. And with 12 matches left for all of these individual teams, this is it. This is the final lap. See if they can cross that. But of course, starting with Group A and Group B on Bermuda is always a sight to behold. SAF, we talk about this. It somehow always feels like the first 2 games is not their game. And we'll see if the heavy hitters from Group A is going to make an impact. We see Blacklist International and Almighty really sharing peak together. And unfortunately, when you drop in that early with another team, only one can escape alive.
Oh, and look at this, man. Do easy as well as SAF up top. Batman gets knocked down onto the ground first. Is Almighty going to be able to save their MVP player? No, he gets deleted immediately. Ren trying to take Black out. They should be able to equalize this. Phoenix deleted as well. And Almighty, they strike right back. And this is one for each. And Blacklist International as well as Almighty, both on the losing end here, Husky.
Yeah, and Blacklist, they thought they got the jump onto Almighty, but the better trade definitely came from AMT just because they were spread out. They had more angles covered, and now with the newfound utilities, they can try to flush Blacklist out. Ajim is not in a good spot as Jay-Z. He's going to be the first one to push in. They still have a separate member from Blacklist behind him. It's going to be Cobra, but Jay-Z is going to run straight into Ajim, and that's going to be his grave for sure. The team's not there in time, so it's back to a 2 versus 2. We're back on even ground.
See, and once again, this is gonna be where Almighty shows us that they get really, really careless at times, right? Jay-Z once again making that mistake of rushing in, not waiting for Ren and Shira to come in for at least even a distraction gameplay from the back. No noise being made. Jay-Z rushes into his death. Well, hopefully he will be able to count on Ren and Shira to make a comeback in here, because the players from Blacklist International, they will be able to strike back. Ajim right down below, super low on health, but it is Ren that gets knocked down onto the ground. Cobra with a beautiful nade, and now it's gonna be all up to Shira. He manages to pick Ren right back up. Once again, man, Blacklist International, they do not look good. They don't have any medkits on them.
Yeah, thank goodness for Almighty. They have this house in their control. They were able to kind of evict Blacklist International. So this gives them more space to work with, and Shira, he's already spotted the first member of Blacklist. It's going to be Ajim down on that ground floor. Cobra is circling around the perimeter, but like you mentioned, they don't have any medkits to work with. That is the last nade for Blacklist, if I'm not mistaken, used on Shira, but not resulting in any kills. So I would say Almighty, they have a good chance of winning this out, but when it comes down to CQC, we all know that Blacklist International is the better team.
Oh, absolutely. And Cobra's still alive and kicking in there. He's the one with the more HP. He can just go in, perhaps have his teammate sacrifice himself, take the better chance in terms of picking up all 4 points on the side of Almighty at the expense of Almighty. But, you know, at the end of the day, what did it cost? It cost way too much, man. Just having one player alone try to survive all the way into the final zone is going to be absolutely impossible. Beautiful knock onto Ren. And once again, Cobra will be able to strike with a well-placed nade. And now trying to take the glue wall down. They should be able to get there in time for the wipeout. Ajim goes down. Cobra manages to eliminate Almighty.
And I thought that was I thought the nade before that was the last nade, but Cobra had reserves. That is great for Blacklist International. Sure, they lost 2 guys, but the fact that they ended up taking Almighty out of this game in like the first 3 minutes, that is super good news. I mean, Almighty, they're in a decent spot. You know, they're not too far away from Blacklist International in terms of points. In fact, both teams are tied. So at least by the end of this round, Blacklist International will have a lead over Almighty.
Yeah,
it's just minor mistakes, right? I think, like you pointed out rightfully, Jay-Z with the slightly reckless rush did cost them the game number 1. But for Blacklist, they'll have a fighting chance.
Yeah, well, I guess the saving grace here is Almighty's not going to be too concerned about dropping a couple of points. They are quite safe in that 6th place. I did manage to catch SAF and PXG just brushing shoulders with each other as they make their way into Metrix's compound in here. And by the looks of things, it does not seem like SAF slowed down to take a jump onto PXG. They might, on the other hand, get caught in a crossfire if the players of Metrix decide to fire. But yeah, it's just going to be all close calls between all of these guys. So quite great in terms of opportunities for Metrix to get in towards the next zone and climb up back that leaderboard, because they're 24 points behind Do Easy, and it's not going to be easy at all. Do Easy, they have been, too many easies in there, but they've been on quite a roll from yesterday, and today it looks like they're all in the clear as well. We expected SAF to knock them out early as they shared their drop zone, but that didn't happen as well, Husky.
Yeah, and that is definitely a good thing, I think, for Do Easy. You know, you're not losing your grip in an instant after after working so hard to get it. But no, I'm looking at the numbers right now, and I think Blacklist International, sure, they share the same total points with Almighty, but when I look at the ranking score, Almighty has 5 extra points over Blacklist International, 192 to 187. But at the same time, Blacklist International has 2 booyahs over Almighty. So this really says a lot about Almighty, right? They are slightly more consistent in terms of those ranking numbers. They just kind of need to brush up on those CQCs a bit more, and I think that could actually put them ahead of Blacklist. Not to say that suddenly Blacklist isn't a good team anymore, but I feel like Almighty are showing us in a different way that they are the main contenders. It's just that we don't see it as often as we should.
Yeah, there's definitely something off with Blacklist International, man. I mean, their strats, the way they take some of these fights, the way they back out of situations, they don't look like the Blacklist International of old, but hopefully they will be able to find that rhythm, A few of the common theories thrown around is that they are holding back some strats, but I feel like they're dropping way too many slots, right? And now they might be on the brink of annihilation as SAF might be their next challenger.
Yeah, I mean, it's week number 5, right? If there's any stress that you're saving, you might as well use it right now. Yeah, sure, it's not the grand finals, but you gotta show something, right? You gotta start playing your cards right. Like there's already it's 10 days. You can't be saving your stress for 10 play days. And SAF, they are still kind of controlling this area a bit. I think Blacklist International, with that information, they're probably not going to push in. But we have PXG Radicals nearby SAF as well. The 2 big dogs, same amount of booyahs, 9 each. Of course, PXG Radicals still pretty far behind in terms of the total score. But like you said, they've cut down the difference from 100 plus to just 79. So a couple of good games, maybe they'll put themselves closer.
Blacklist International, man. I mean, Lady Luck just not on their side. They are just bouncing, from one, close call to another, from one full squad to another. And now they have to back away from Metrics as well. Metrics not going to be taking any of those clean shots. They want to get into that final circle before they get aggressive. And I absolutely agree with that strategy. We've seen so many of these teams make those mistakes of getting into those early engagements when it just isn't called for.
And Metrics, they are behind Do Easy primarily in the fragging department, right? 20 frags behind Do Easy, only 4 points difference when it comes to ranking score. So Metrics, if they brush up on those gunfights a bit more, and I think they definitely would have a good chance of making it into 12th place. This is not over just yet. 12 matches is a lot. I mean, you give them one good game, and suddenly you might see Do Easy on the brink of elimination once more. With Freedom Rumble, not that safe. They might be 24 points ahead of Do Easy, but not 24 points. What am I talking about? 12. Well, 8 points.
8 points. Yeah.
My eyes are deceiving. Yeah, 8 points ahead of Do Easy. So this is cutting it closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, way too close, man. I mean, with a majority of the teams on the leaderboard, it's just way too close, right? Just one game can just change so many things in here. And quite honestly, it's not impossible to think that PXG Radicals can even replace SAF at the top. But, certain conditions need to be met. SAF need to start underperforming, but that just does not seem to be a possibility, Husky. If anything, SAF have just gotten better and better and better. I mean, McRory, he pulls the nade out, bro. I mean, that's when you start running.
Yeah, I mean, when their worst performance, when their worst day is basically the best performance of a lot of teams, you kind of know that where this team stands, right? Even on their worst days, they rack out more than 50 points. That is insane. I mean, a lot of teams on their worst day, they rack up less than 10 points, 10 to 15 points. These guys, the minimum is 50 plus. The maximum is 76 or 77.
Let me put that into perspective, right? Umbrella Reborn. Remember the Umbrella Reborn hype train that we were going on?
Yeah.
Technically, when they were performing, they were consistently picking up 50 points a day. That was their best.
That was their best.
That was the hype train.
I mean, SAF looking down and be like, that's your best? That's our worst. And SAF, speak of the devil, they've already lost one. They've lost the second one as well. But they are kind of going in for the trade into Metrics. Also goes. I mean, X1, he's cleaving to all of them with the sight. And who needs guns when you have a big-ass Grim Reaper side? They're tearing to everyone from the side of SAF. 4 business trade Manchai back, but I mean, the front runners, they're losing way more than they should have.
Well, speak of the devil, or I don't know what it is, but this is that condition I was talking about. SAF needs to exit early. PXG might be able to get it done then.
And Metri's gonna be happy about that, right? They are trying to catch up to do easy and then take out SAF. More chance for them. Argon MY. Not too lucky though, but the landmine from Sparks does kill off 2 members of Freedom Rumble. That's going to give Argon MY a lot more space to work with, and FRU not looking too healthy, hiding behind those blue walls in a separate room, and Argon MY will have time to revive me. But as I say that, Sparks going to get absolutely backstabbed as Morgana chips in, because Bloody Head, they want a part of this party as well. They want a couple of points for themselves. Mark does hide in the time turner, actually gets out with his life. By the grace of the Lord, Bloody Head somehow gets away with daylight murder. A unit will at least put him to
FSK
bed
as well?
and make sure that Bloody Head not gonna get everything to themselves. With FSK party number 4, the fight does not end. This ceremony is getting more and more interesting, and Bloody Head's gonna be the first team to walk out of it after losing.
Absolute beauty, man. Bloody Head stepping in there, picking up 2, backing away, and leaving the team of FSK to finish everything off. Freedom Rumble trying to survive in there just with 1 more player. Oren, Ali runs past him, Monito from far away. Oren should be able to pull this backstab off if the players from FSK back away prematurely, and yes, they are doing so. As they head in for the chase onto Bloody Head. Yoon manages to go in for the delete onto Monte. It's going to be Ash who gets taken down by Do Easy. Xia off screen. Morgana as well as Cryfu waiting to see exactly what FSK can bring on in here. But it's a 4 onto Morgana. Opportunity. Yoon with the time turner. Strikes right back. Morgana too low on that HP. Are we going to see the annihilation of Bloody Heads? I think that's exactly what we're going to get. 1 nade should be able to get this completed, but Yoon just does not have that.
And FSK, they've called out to Bloody Head, so this is going to be round number 2. FSK still has the entire team left alive, but Bloody Head, not so lucky. They lost Mark early on after he somehow outperformed a full Rambo, but it might not be the case this time because SFK, they are hungry for blood. As Freedom Rumble, they are suffering a defeat right there. At the same time, Bayer, he's going to die, but Do Easy taking on Wheels head on. This is going to be pretty close. Do Easy needs to win this, but Monmon is going to down iPans, and this should be the end of Do Easy's involvement in this fight. They can't go on anymore, but if any case, the fact that they're stuck in the building across, Views will have that numbers advantage.
Oh yeah, I think Views is gonna just win this on a technicality because Do Easy just mind-boggled themselves. I think that was a misplay with the grenade launcher. I believe it was Bayats that took himself out. And that was just the start to the end. They panicked. Views just took advantage of that situation. They go in with the full-on takeover. They do Alforte, but it really doesn't matter now, does it? They have managed to damage the side of Do Easy, who was playing to play catch-up. Views now, they are one of the teams that we have to keep our eyes wide open for. Views, Bloody Head, Freedom Rumble, these 3 teams, because once again, a lot of heat under their butts to make them hustle a little bit harder in here.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty close. I mean, Vasco MY, they were four partying the previous fight, and then they caught up to Bloody Head, and right now they've secured themselves a pretty decent compound. I mean, Bloody Head's still alive, at least for now. 7 teams remaining, but they found Morgana. He's the clutch master of the team, but taking out 4 members of Vasco MY who are right now, in top 3, it's not gonna be easy. All the grenades are flying out, and Jemba is gonna be knocked out. Do Easy does get eliminated off screen. All the flashbang is super blinding, but Yoon was able to find a different vantage point, and that is gonna force Morgana into an even brutal spot. He's gonna jump off the rooftop, and that's gonna give Vasco MY a clear shot of this member from the side of Bloody Head. He's not gonna run away for long, and you can bet that Vasco will be able to clean him up.
Let's see exactly what else they will be able to bring in here as Ali drops Morgana out of the equation. PXG Blacklist International, the annihilation, still on standby. You know, the exact condition that I said PXG needs in order to catch up to or even overtake the side of SAF is SAF needs to get eliminated early, PXG needs to get into the final zone, pick the Booyah up for themselves, and this just looks like the perfect condition for that. Now, to pick up 2 more kill points off of Blacklist International doesn't seem too impossible. Tanamo will be able to spot Cobra, but Cobra's cooking that nade up already. Tanamo needs to be really careful, backs away. PXG should take this a little bit quicker because Views now should be able to catch them from the back, and if they do get stuck in the middle, that's just going to be game over.
And PXG right now, they have that advantage, they have the vantage point. But Blacklist International still on that survival mode. Barbara is going to be the second one to go down. I mean, off screen, they did take out Wheels as PXG takes on 2 different teams on 2 separate fronts. But now they will have to kind of refocus their attention. Blacklist International is the next team on the list. And still, Ajim and Cobra holding hands, staying inside that building. But with the circle not favoring either of these teams, they got to start moving. And for PXG, it means that they have to force their way through Blacklist International.
Just one man down, Tanamo. That's not going to be too much of an issue at all. Ramiel, Barba, Insanity, these guys are just crazy players all on their own. They should be able to step up for their team members. If anything, Ramiel, the biggest, bagger for the side of PXG. 56 kills in the competition so far, Husky. And I don't think Blacklist International likes the sound of that.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe PXG, they have to deal with Blacklist, but at the same time, they are also looking at beyond the horizon. I mean, Team Fastkill, they did have Yun down. As Cobra, this does gun down Barbara with the double vectors. In fact, Barbara is going to go down, so Blacklist International, they're going to be on even playing ground as Ali will take revenge on and Ramiel. So PXG, despite having a decent lead, now down to just 1 member as Team Fastkill continues that onslaught, the push into the final zone. And FSK so far with 9 kills, about to have Blacklist International in their crosshair. They're seeing more than just that. PXG also in the hot seat as Insanity is gonna be gunned down. Sharks takes 12 points for the team. They also eliminate Blacklist International, and Team Fastkill continues the uprise. They get the first Booyah on this lovely Sunday.
Oh, that was just absolute chaos, man. Today was a day where Team Fastkill MY steps it up right all over. And you know, they are in the 3rd spot at the moment. In order to catch up with PXG, they need 72 points. It's a lot, but I guess this is a good start.
Yeah, definitely a good start. And you look at the top 3 teams, PXG, Radicals, Fastkill NY, and Blacklist International, the top dogs from Group A, all the heavy hitters in this group of death, showing up big time. And SAF continues to struggle despite being the pack leader, the alpha predator. This is starting to get a bit close. Sure, SAF is going to most likely end up in 1st place by the end of the league stage, but they're going to start sweating a bit. You know, even on their worst day, sure, they get 50+ points, but you still have to be a bit careful because all these other teams, they are putting on quite a show.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's bring back Danny as well as Hollis so we can break down that matchup a little bit more. Welcome back, guys.
That late game looks so easy for Fastkill. I mean, they had practically no one on their side, right? They had a compound, they had all 4 members alive, and then it was basically PXG versus Blacklist. And I have to say, props to Blacklist for playing so patiently. They didn't feel the need to rush. They were waiting for PXG to make the move. And PXG, they had a couple things. They either had to go into the circle early or focus Blacklist. And they tried to do both, which I found was a little wonky because you separated 1 member from the team, you basically said, okay, we trust you to win the engagement with the remaining players. Yeah, they died.
And I think that's the exact problem there, right? Because when they were going in to scout out, they expected to guy and come in there for the ambush with the other 3 if in case things go wrong. They did not expect the ambush from Views, and the moment that happened, you know, Blacklist International struck at the very same time. So, you know, you ended up in a situation where you have to focus 2 sides. They took it quite well though. They managed to pull off 2 kill points from Views and still survive a little bit further, but you know, luck just wasn't on their side. The main ones I think that really, you know, deserves a lot of praise at this point of the competition competition would be Fastkill MY. Remember some of the comments, guys, during the early stages of the competition. What did I say about them? They're the kind of team that's up one day, down the other, then they go right back up. But they've managed to tweak a little bit all of those plays, right? Remember all of those vehicle, aggression from early on in those matches? We don't see any of that. Fastkill MY is so sharp these days.
At times they're hot and they're cold, but at the end of the day, they've kind of picked it up in terms of consistency. We're seeing exactly what they can do with the Booyah and 12 kills to their name, completing their aggression and just kind of just point totals that they've been getting. I mean, the last couple of days it's been 45, 36, 30, and 49, and this is a team on the rise. They've been doing quite well in terms of points, and they're putting Blacklist International to the test, so to speak. Blacklist International had 12 points yesterday, so they got 15 points in the first game. So already it's a much better day for Blacklist International. PXG Radicals, we know that these guys are going to be top 3, top 5, somewhere in there, and they've got 13 points as well. But Argon Malaysia, Do Easy, and Bloody Head, big wins for these guys. Just getting those points you need to get is whatever you can, especially since all of the top teams have already picked up all the kills.
Yeah, I think even for Metrics, to a certain extent, it's also not too bad of a start, right? They were able to knock out of all SAF, of all teams early on. Sure, they still are going to be quite a distance away from Do Easy, because Do Easy did get 7 points compared to just 6. But I think this is still going to put them on the right path, and the same as Argon MY. Right now, I think Argon MY is probably going to be tied with Metrics on the leaderboard. So I'm still slightly worried for Do Easy, but just back to just quickly to touch on Fastkill MY. I mean, even from MCP Season 1, Fastkill has been the team that we expect them to qualify for the grand finals, but we never expected them to qualify in a glorious fashion. We fast forward to FFMC, they're still the sibling that you don't look up to, right? If you compare them to Freedom Rumble. But right now, I think they've done it. They've gotten their master's degree. They've overtaken Freedom Rumble in a huge way.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what you're talking about, right? Absolute beauty from them. And the change has taken quite a while, but it has been worth it all of the time waiting, man. I am absolutely impressed with them. And I cannot wait to see if they can bring in that consistency in the next match.
Ding, 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 ding. With all the word of the day, go.
Man, I swear someone could just start some kind of drinking game with that word.
Every time AJ says it, you take a shot, right?
But I do want to see if they can actually bring that in, right? But there are some other teams in here that I expected to see step it up as well. Do Easy, Bloody Head, Metrics. We saw a few of those moments, but at the very end of the day, this A versus B is just way too hot, guys.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hot, see, I knew you were going to say the exact same thing, Paula. You know why? Yeah, we're jumping onto a very hot map. My absolute favorite. It's Kalahari. Lots of vertical surfaces you've got to worry about. Also that high ground. We're going to throw it over to our beautiful casters for our final game for Group A versus B. It's going to be Husky and AJ. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Danny. Well, Husky, this time round in Kalahari, we've broken down quite a lot of things that have happened in that matchup already. I think we will allow the flight path to dictate exactly where our conversation goes. Hopefully, we do see Freedom Rumble and Bloody Heads not break away from Command Post, because that's going to be an exciting matchup to watch. Argon MY almost dropping in together with Fastkill, but they are going to be breaking away. So let's go. Bloody Heads, Freedom Rumble. That's going to be matchup number 1.
Oh boy, I mean, Bloody Head and Kalahari, a pretty unique combination. I think they always had a pretty interesting reputation on this map. And speaking about that, first team that's going to face off against Bloody Head, it's going to be none other than Freedom Rumble. Rifle is going to trade Oren, but he will also go down. We'll see if Cobbs can make it an even fight, but it seems like Bloody Head are going to be the first team to the scene as Morgana once more goes for the swing and takes off Vegeta, and Freedom Rumble kind of losing grip on this map a bit. Apam does down Morgana, so we still have an even fight, but it's quickly turned in the favor of Bloody Head as Apam will be the third person to get knocked down, and Cobbs knows that he cannot fight this anymore. He tried his best, but sometimes the effort just ain't enough. Bloody Head will walk away with 3 free kills, and they will lose none.
Oh, I love it, man. Bloody Heads from MCP Major Season 1 all the way down into Season 2. I've just fallen in love with them more and more and more. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to see them grow to something that's even bigger than what they are already now. Because, although they show us tremendous plays like this, it just doesn't seem to be reflecting on the leaderboards just yet, Husky.
Yeah, so far, not as much, I would say, as what we expected. But give them a bit of time. I think if they continue down this trajectory, they will be there in a jiffy. Give it a couple of rounds, I guess. Maybe not by the end of today, but we have 2 more play days in the league stages next week. That's probably where they will really bridge the gap and put themselves in a decent position. But
you are a hopeful guy. I was about to say next season. I mean, I'm just being realistic, okay?
One can only hope,
but hey, it is at the end of the day, Bloody Heads. Remember what happened in Season 1 towards the end.
Yeah, man. I mean, to be very fair, I mean, Bloody Head towards the end of the season, that was kind of like an external factor, right? But if there's anything that we've learned from Season 1, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to repeat itself for the season. Hence, we're definitely going to see them in the grand finals. I mean, 80%. They have a sizable lead. Unless they drop the ball a couple of rounds, then maybe we will see Argon. But judging where they are right now, tied up with Wheels in the 9th and 10th spot, they should be pretty safe. Although I worry more about Freedom Rumble and Do Easy compared to Bloody Heads at this point of time.
Yeah. Do you know if Bloody Heads is sponsored? Because, I think if they're not at the moment and if they don't have a coach, putting a solid support behind this team will really, really bring them somewhere, man. Because the one common factor that I see in their performance so far is pressure. Whenever they are pressured to perform, whereby they either if they do not perform, they're going to be embarrassed because they're going to be dead last, or if they do not perform, they are not going to be making it through the finals. And that's exactly where we see Bloody Heads step it up. And the moment they are in the safe zone, they seem to slack off. I think these guys, they need a really, really strict coach behind them.
Yeah, I mean, when they play free, they play freely, they were winning fights. I don't know, it could be a mental thing, but I believe these kind of scenarios, they do happen depending on the player. Argon MY will run straight and take on Wheels, and Aoki from behind. That's Fredo X2R, but Me is able to immediately create him back. This is just a bloodbath. Everyone running into the time turner, just making sure that they dominate the dome. And it's going to be Argon MY downing majority of members of Wheels, and they get everyone back up. So it's free pickings for Argon MY, and for Wheels, this might be their final stand if they don't make something happen. And it's very much going to seem like it. I mean, Mon, the only member alive, and everyone from Argon MY is overwhelm him with sheer force, and Wheels gets annihilated by Argon MY. Another great start for this team.
Argon MY desperately needed to win that fight, and they do it. They don't just do that for themselves, but they've just helped Bloody Heads Freedom Rumble do easy as well, because Views was trying to get away, man, and getting snuffed out so early in this round, not gonna do them any favors whatsoever. And Argon MY, they should be able to happily climb up that leaderboard over with the kill points gotten over Views. Now, let's see exactly what else we can have in here. Almighty Batman. We've seen good days, we've seen bad days, we've seen days where Batman can't see, we've seen days where Batman can spot a tiny little player from miles and miles away and snipe them out of the air. So I don't know what sort of a Batman we're going to get this time, Husky.
Yeah, I mean, for game number 1, the Batman that we got was not really a Batman, right? He was the first one to die. But now they see everyone from PXG. And the question is, previously, the Batman we know would take the shot, but this time it's Jay-Z and Shira that takes the shot. I mean, Batman is just waiting. He's asking his Robin to do the deed. PXG should be fine. They're pretty far away from Almighty, and I don't think they will want to go for the push. So Almighty, they will be able to at least chip the health of PXG Radicals off a bit. But other than that, nothing much.
Yeah, I think one of the opposing teams just called Batman this morning and just said, Martha. and then he started getting depressed. And, and here we go. Depressed Batman, not firing at anyone. He just says, I just want to live a life of peace. I don't want to take any gunfights. We should all lay down our firearms and lie down on this battlefield and allow the blue zone to kill us all.
I mean, the funny thing about, well, not funny. I would say the interesting thing about Batman is like he's this icon of justice, in the dark. But he's also a guy that is very much against killing, right? That kind of feels like Batman for sure, like a full role play of that character. No killing. Like I can harm you. I can throw my batarang. Like cripple you. Dislocate your shoulder blade, but I'm not gonna take your life.
Now, look, this is another fight that is really, really important. If Do Easy can get the jump onto Matrix, number one, they snuff out, the hope of Matrix just by a little bit in terms of catching up, because Do Easy is in the 12th position, and they also get to bag 4 easy kill points. But, the longer they take, Matrix just gonna get further and further away. Shah manages to finally open fire, but it looks like Matrix have found a compound in here for themselves. But Do Easy, they have got high ground. They should be able to take it. Shafik as well as Ash on the ground right now, and Do Easy are actually getting it done. But out of nowhere, it's gonna be Bloody Head stealing those kills.
Oh my goodness, I mean, Matrix, they snuck under Refinery. I thought that's gonna be the ticket out, but they run straight into the Lion's Den, and now they not only have to do with Do Easy, they have to do with Bloody Hit, and they lost 2 guys. So the run for Matrix continues. Do Easy, they don't get anything in return, but it's fine if they don't get the points. As long as Matrix dies early on, Do Easy will breathe a sigh of relief. But this danger zone is going to call off the assault for a while. At least from the side of Do Easy, they won't be able to take any shots staying out in the open. For Bloody Hit, it's a different story because they have a compound and they know where Matrix is.
Well, let's see exactly what they'll be able to bring in here. Bloody Heads, 6 kills so far. They benefit off of Do Easy's hard work. And I don't think Do Easy is going to be too happy about that, but there's just nothing they can do about it. Bloody Heads trying to catch up with Views. They were, what were they? They were literally on equal points after the earlier match. So I guess they are doing a lot more better now. Views got eliminated by Matrix earlier on. Bloody Heads looking to take Matrix out of the equation. I feel like the food chain is getting set up pretty good here, Husky.
Yeah, the whole food chain is is more apparent in the lower half. Not more. It's more messy, right? It's more apparent in the upper echelon of the leaderboard, where SAF is the apex predator. They consume everyone. But down there, everyone is omnivorous. Everyone has a chance. And I think Bloody Hit right now, like you said, on the right track. They've basically earn a lead just because Wheels got knocked out by Argon MY. And if they knock out Matrix, they do themselves a favor by getting an even extended lead, but they also do Easy a favor by making sure that whoever is on the tail is not going to catch up. At least for Matrix, they're going to take a while longer to make it into top 12, but for Argon MY, you have to remember these guys are still in the game.
Now let's see exactly what they'll be able to bring on in here, because Command Post belongs to them at this very moment. 9 more teams left in here. Bloody Heads, they cannot rest, but at the very same time, they need to find as many kill points as they can, because it really, really does matter, man. They are sitting in a position where it's not safe just yet. And like you mentioned at the start of the day, we had 12 matches. Now they only have got 11 more left in here. Time is running out and the other teams are catching up. There's no way, they can rest easy, because Freedom Rumble, Do Easy, Argon MY, Matrix, these 4 teams, they are not resting at all. Time and time again, match after match, they're stepping it up.
SAF, they're tanking the blue zone, and that circle is going to force SAF to run straight into Blacklist International. This is not going to be good for Blacklist though, because they also have Do Easy to worry about, and they've already started the engagement. This encounter might be beneficial for SAF if they can third-party this, but Cobra has sharp eyes and sharp instinct. His presence of mind is going to allow him to tell his team, SAF, they're coming in from the northern side. There might be a possible backstab. So Cobra, his job is just to hold off SAF. Now what SAF needs to do right now is to try and take out Cobra before anything else. Because if Cobra goes down, the whole formation of Blacklist falls apart. And they will also allow Do Easy to potentially eliminate Blacklist International on their side.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like SAF wants to take this fight at all. They continue circling around the perimeter and they're backing away as far as possible, away from Blacklist International. And I think they've done just enough. If they can continue moving a little bit more, they should be able to squeeze into the safe zone, take over that building, and that compound should be theirs, leaving Blacklist International in the most terrible of situations between themselves as well as Do Easy. Almighty should be able to take some pot shots at Blacklist International as from afar with the sniper, and this just does not look like a great position to be in. PXG comes in to say hello as well. Yeah, deep breath time.
This is the what do you call it? The Royal Rumble, right? The Grand Slam. All of the big guys, they're in the ring. I mean, Do Easy probably the tiniest man in the ring right now. You know, everyone else is, you know, the Undertaker, The Rock, and Do Easy is just probably the new guy, the new kid who just joined the what do you call it? The WWE. So we'll see if they can take on these heavy hitters because they are not in the right category right now. Almighty, they're gonna see Fast Kill and White desperately trying to get into the zone. Bloody Head also chips in, but Barba! What was that? And Phoenix turns around and just blows his head off, but thankfully Rayman will pick him back up in Blacklist International. They are starting to get those guns barrel heated up, but for Fast Kill, they're not looking too hot. Bloody Head already has 9 points on the board.
Oh, bloody heads. I mean, I wouldn't say a majority, but many of their kills coming away from other teams, other players knocking, you know, their enemies down onto the ground. Bloody heads just going in there to finish it off. PXG now getting eliminated by Blacklist International. What a play coming through from this squad. Lots of questions have been asked, and this is the time they will be able to respond. But now another fight might ensue as Almighty try to step on into the next safe zone. Blacklist International will have to move at the same time. This is going to get interesting. Fastkill MY eliminated now. Blacklist International taking the fight up against SAF as they move on in. It's going to be Phoenix with the snipes from afar, and he gets the delete as well. Goes in for another one. Let's go taken out of the equation, and Phoenix just does not want to stop. The zone is coming. The zone is approaching. Phoenix still goes in for all of those shots. This guy has got guts.
Yeah, and Matrix, they got taken out, so Do Easy. Now they're gonna breathe a sigh of relief because Matrix is already eliminated. But look at who's on the southern side. It's Argon and Y. They're away from this fight. In fact, the circle favors them. These guys, everyone else is gonna end up killing themselves, and Argon and Y is gonna have the final laugh. But before we focus on the most likely of winners, we gotta look at this fight. Very, very crucial for Bloody Head to try and make their way into the circle. They know that Argon and Y has the best spot, but they have to start running for it. And Almighty will take on Blacklist International on the other end. Bloody Head with 11 points, trying to plan their route, but they also see Almighty, and you cannot have two teams beelining towards the same destination. So Almighty is going to be put on the chopping block. The question is, can Bloody Head take them out in time? Because Blacklist International, they're going to rush in and try to take out everyone else.
Oh, bloody heads, they need to start moving now. The zone pushing everyone in. Blacklist International still taking this fight up against Almighty. Ren goes in for the delete onto Jembal. Do Easy not going to be too happy with that situation at all. Blacklist International now teasing the zone, and they go in for that long flank, and they will be able to come across Argon MY, who do have a great compound on themselves. Do Easy eliminated by Almighty, who still go on in. Ren gets taken down by the zone, and a backstab comes through. Argon MY dropping in. Blacklist International getting taken down. Almighty Batman eliminated as well. Argon MY really picking everything up. They're going up against Bloody Heads. These are the two teams from the bottom. The underdogs really, really are hungry, Askey.
Yeah, Bloody Head, they might be able to just do this for Argon and Y. They also want that win for themselves. Bloody Head still have no Booyah in the back. This might be the first, but it's going to be Morgana. 28 health against Spark, who has way more of an advantage. And Spark is going to end it all. Argon and Y backs the second Booyah of the league. And they're gonna get it. They have completed probably one of the best possible rounds for themselves. They're gonna put themselves so darn close to that 12th place. Do Easy have to start sweating.
They already started sweating after the previous game, man. They started this day sweating. 24 points away, just behind them. Argon MY most definitely should be able to catch up now. Now, I don't really know or remember exactly in which part Do Easy got eliminated earlier, but I'm pretty sure bagging that booyah just assures Argon MY at the very least they've managed to half that lead that Do Easy had above them. On that note, Husky, let's bring on Danny as well as Holler back in here with us as we continue this conversation. Welcome back, guys.
Can we just highlight the fact that Bloody Head probably won that round with, I think they had 12 kills?
They're 12 kills by the end of it.
Probably 4 or 5 stolen off of other teams, which I absolutely approve of. I mean, it's all about who's in the right place at the right time, right, Holler?
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that. I mean, throughout the day, we've had a number of different people that have scored 3 kills or higher for the team. Ali, Insanity, Cobra, Morgana, Pydro, and then a guy named Mark. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear the name Mark, I don't have that fear of death in me. But this guy came out strong, and he had literally 5 kills, maybe even more. I lost track at the end, but this guy was completely on point. Mark, you got to worry about that guy. I have a cousin named Mark, and now I'm scared.
There was I think when PXG Radicals tried to take on Blacklist, it was very unfortunate because they were the one who took the first shot, but Phoenix with some eagle eye somehow turns around 180s PXG and they completely eliminated the PXG Radicals off of that. To answer your question earlier, AJ, Do Easy was taken up by Almighty because they had to run for the blues for the circle. And
was that like
Almighty,
6 or 7?
Batman stayed back. He actually stayed back for Do Easy and then he wiped them. So that is a huge win for Almighty part. I mean, Do Easy, they ended up in, I think, 5th or 6th place. Not too bad. But still, the fact that Argon MY won that round is a huge deal for them.
Huge, absolutely huge, right? And I did not expect them to be able to bag the booyah. I expect them to step it up. I did not expect them to get in towards the final zone. I didn't expect a performance like that from Bloody Heads either, right? I expected them to do better than the other days, but that was way more than I could ask for, and I'm absolutely loving it, guys.
Is this the Bloody Head that plays freely? The one that we saw from Season 1? If this is it, then they've activated themselves at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that fire is only because, Danny, they don't want to get kicked out. They want to make it to the grand finals.
I just kind of hate watching teams play like this, right? They play like, I'm sorry, Bloody Head. They played like rubbish at the beginning of the season. And I just thought, oh my god, we said so many nice things about them during last season. They were so good. And then they show me this and I get so disappointed. And then they're doing the whole, it was a joke. This is how we actually play. I mean, it's nice to be proven wrong for them to say that, we are a team that deserves to be here. But I just wish they did this a little bit more consistently throughout the season so I didn't look like an absolute dummy for rooting for them. But wait!
What?
Hang on.
What, Argon?
I mean, Argon Malaysia with 22 kills, 10 kills, not only in the fact that they got the booyah, but Bloody Head really turning everyone else into a bloody head in the sense of the 13 kills, the second place placing there, 22 points. I think that they're actually, Bloody Heads right now is looking to be top 10 at this point. I think Argon Malaysia is still just barely out. I think they're going to be around 13th, 14th, but they are catching up. Freedom Rumble, Do Easy, and Woo's kind of falling apart here.
I mean, Bloody Head, if they make it to top 10, this is their best performance throughout 2 seasons, right?
Bloody Heads is in 9th. Let me just break it right now. They have a 21-point lead in front of Views. I love it!
Yeah, I mean, season 1, their best performance was 17th. now the best performance is 9th place. Now, that's a huge step up for Bloody Head.
I have some bad news for a team called Freedom Rumble. Because from those 2 rounds, they have scored 4 points.
They are on the ropes. 7 points away from being tied up with Argon MY.
I'm not... So, wait, are they out of top 12?
No.
Or are they
They're still in top 12, but they're about to be out of top 12 if they have one more bad round.
If Argon MY can give us half of what they have given us in this round, then that's all they need. Freedom Rumble maybe just give us a little bit more of the inconsistency Freedom Rumble have been giving us, and we should be able to see them kicked out of the top 12.
I mean, Bloody Head is the only team in top 12 with 0 booyah. That is insane.
They don't need it.
Who needs booyahs? Who needs to win the round?
I'm telling you, they need a
Yeah.
coach. They need someone to sponsor them if they haven't been sponsored. And this team, guys, this team, there's something about them, man.
I mean,
At least-
they don't even have a whole lot of kills either. That's the thing. I mean, they're getting survival point, like the placement points, right? But the thing
Yeah.
is that they have one of the highest placement points, at least in the top 5 or top 10, excuse me. I mean, 204 rank placement points. That's quite a lot for a team that has 0 booyahs to their name.
Yes.
So they're doing something right. I don't know if they're just really good at hide and seek, but they're proving to be very strong and something that you need to watch out for.
I mean, I did point out that they weren't really good at getting kills today, so I'm not sure if like maybe they're watching the stream and thinking, guys,
Not just this
we
stream,
need
guys.
some kills today.
They've been watching. They've definitely been watching. They've definitely been listening as well, right? Because they've constantly been improving, and what they have been improving was what we have been screaming all throughout the league stages. Why are they abandoning compounds so easily? Why are they taking these early gunfights? Why are they dying so early? And they've just consistently stepped it up, and they've been playing a really, really good game. And look at them right now, 9th place, not too shabby at all. And here's the best part, they can continue climbing if they just bring us this sort of bloody heads all through to the end.
Yeah, I mean,
This was a team that I thought was going to be bottom 3 whole season.
to give you guys a quick perspective, right? Bloodyhead, in terms of a ranking score, they are ranked number 5 in terms of total ranking score. In terms of kill score, they are ranked number 13. That is, these guys are just plain survivors, right? They don't kill, they're pacifists. They kill if they have to, but if not, they just play Gandhi and Mother Teresa and just survive until the very end. There's something about this team. I like it.
All right, well, that was going to be the end of Group A versus Group B. We've seen 2 matches thus far. We're going to take a little bit of a break before we go into B versus C. That's going to be coming up. Stay tuned.
Free Fire is one of the most popular shooting games in the world. And recently, we developed Free Fire Max as a separate app and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimize Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXC Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
It's BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Insects right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's
Qualifier MCP Majors Season 2. Danley, which of those teams are you worried about after seeing those crazy Group A versus B matches?
I think the very obvious one is Freedom Rumble. These guys only scored 4 points in their first 2 matches of today, and we already know that they're one of the teams that are at risk of losing that top 12 position. And this was a team that was, what, top 8 at some point, and they were comfortably up there, but they've just been slowly falling down the leaderboard as the competition. I think we have to give the competition some credit. Everyone has also been improving over the course of the season. So unless we see some changes from Freedom Rumble and they can really kick it into gear for their next 2 matches, which these two matches with Group C, it's their last hurrah for this week, and then they'll have to wait till next week to play again.
Yeah, there's no other chances at this point, but we're going to find the overall standings. That's going to be coming up here. And if we're looking at it, again, you just mentioned, Woos, Freedom Rumble. These are the teams that are outside looking in. Argon Malaysia, this is the team that's peaking at the right time. We saw them all the way at the bottom. They're making their way up now. They're 13th with that booyah there. They're coming on very, very strong, giving everybody else a run for their money. And Bloody Head, of course, just kind of moving on up. But hey, SAF didn't have the greatest of matches today. I mean, they're still up top with 560 points, but PXG right behind them. Do you think that PXG can actually catch up to SAF?
A little bit skeptical. Of course, it's going to depend on their final matchup of the day, which is A versus C, because they're not playing for this next round, right? It's basically SAF's time to build up, at least pad their points, right? So PXG have to also match them. At the moment, I don't think they can.
Okay. All right.
Just because of how SAF generally play against B versus C. I do want to quickly mention, though, from the teams that played last round that are playing in this round, Bloody Head and Argon MY, these are the 2 teams that actually got the most points from those 2 rounds, with Argon getting 30 points alone and Bloody Head actually being able to get 29 points from those 2 games. So if anything, I want to keep an eye on those 2, because not only are they competing, firstly, Bloody Head to climb up the leaderboard and take over Tactical Intex's spot, but for Argon MY to reach that 12th position.
I mean, Argon Malaysia, they average like 26 points in an entire day. If they're already at the 30-point mark, everything else from here on out is just gravy. I don't think that's going to stop them, considering they do need to get into that 12th place. They are running out of time, though. They want to make sure that they're doing it safely and comfortably and making sure that they're into that spot, because, hey, you don't want to let, Lady Luck kind of affect you. Go into that last match, and then all of a sudden, will you get in? Will you get out? I'm not sure. We're going to have to find out, as we've got 2 more play days after today. We're going to still continue on with that, but we're going to go into Group B versus C. This one's coming up. Group C is just going to be coming on board. What are the teams that you're looking for in Group C?
Clearly, SAF, this team just demolishes this group for some unknown reason. Although, now that I take a look at my notes, though, Group B versus C is actually the field for this. The majority of them is the teams towards the bottom end of the bracket. You only have 4 teams that are towards the upper end of the bracket for this group. So maybe SAF are dominating because this is considered a weaker group. You got to be honest, A versus B, it's a scary matchup, but I know everyone watching is very keen to jump into the matches, and I do believe we are just about ready to start Group B versus C. Let's hear what the casters have to say as we jump right into Bermuda. AJ and Husky, take it away.
Yes, AJ, B, and C, but thank you to our hosts once more, Danley and Holler. Let us introduce some new teams into the ring, because it's going to be Zev Squad, Umbrella Reborn, Cannot Brain, Forex Expert, AKO Legends, and Tactical Intex. These guys are going to take on Group B in possibly an unfavorable showdown, because everyone agreed that Group C has the lowest average score out of all the teams, and of course they are considered as the weakest group, but I feel like you can't question that, right? I mean, AKO Legend is the representative for the team, and this is the best shot that they have. They're in 6th place, 2 points behind Almighty. A lot of room for them to work with, but we'll see if AKO Legends can bring forth that result. But everyone else, they got to step up the game.
Yeah, let's see exactly what they have to bring on in here, because Group C, I don't know, man. I don't know. Auto knockout. Yeah, we can expect some consistency from them. For Expert, they've been on quite the journey to discover a few new strats. I don't know what they're playing at, but they have to be careful because they have dropped way too many points and they should be stepping it up today. So I expect it to be a day where 4xpen Expert gets into that final zone as well. Let's see exactly what breaks down. They could be coming across Cannot Brain at peak first off in here, but Cannot Brain seems to be breaking off away in towards Kotatua. So all clear as the teams pick their first drop zone.
I think the funniest thing about some of the teams in Group C, Cannot Brain, UFB, Zep Squad, these guys, before the shuffle, the mid-league shuffle, they are also in the same group, right? They just can't get away from each other. I don't know, maybe the lottery is not in their favor, right? Somehow there's a mid-season, mid-league shuffle and they still end up in the same group. And they have been known to be the teams that just hard drop each other and take each other out for the first 3 weeks. But if that's how it's going to be, I mean, they have to make do with what they have. In Zep Squad, 15th place, you look at them and metrics, there's a lot of work to be done. 29 points in terms of difference. And with only 12 matches left for the guys in Group C, this is way too close for comfort.
Yeah, SAF with Z Squad just behind them. They don't really want to take any early engagements in here, although Z Squad might be one that they can easily bag. I don't think SAF is looking to take any one of those risks because this team has been on quite a roll and they are very, very persistent in terms of making that gap that they have at the very top of the leaderboard ever so wider each and every single opportunity to get Husky.
Yeah, SAF, they always had this pattern of completely bombing out in the first 2 games, and then the third and fourth game they come online. I am starting to believe that it's probably just the groups that is affecting SAF performance. I mean, the heavy hitters from Group A are just harder to deal with, but we'll see if SAF can kind of feed on the Group C teams. I mean, if they can, then they will be able to extend their lead by a mile again.
Yeah. And let's see if or not they will be able to do that because PXG is a team that's trying to catch up. They're taking a break now, a well-deserved breather before they jump on in against Group C. And I do expect PXG to bag 2 back-to-back booyahs when they do drop in on later on, right? Because apart from that, I don't see any other teams, as hungry today. Fast Killer MY potentially might be that one team that is equally hungry, but PXG has got so much more to prove because we so far have pegged SAF as that one team that you cannot catch up to. And if PXG manages to get close, I think they would have earned a bit of name for themselves just in doing just that.
Yeah, they still need a bit of work to put themselves within touching distance, but at least when they look straight on the field, they can at least see the silhouette of SAF in front of them. At least where the target is. You can see that the visible indicator. Compared to when SAF had like more than 100-point lead, you just don't know where they are. So I would say PXG Radicals, they're on the right path. But I agree with what Dan Lee said earlier on. Catching up to SAF is a completely different ballgame.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that at all. Too easy. Catching up with Zed and will be running right past Monarch. Monarch not even spotting that, allowing Jembal to take him down. And now Blade will be popping off a couple of shots, but he's going to be in such a tough situation because a nade comes flying out of nowhere. Zed Blade down now. They are down, and did he take himself out? I don't even know what happened there.
Ariza squad has a very weird opening, but they still have a chance, right? They only lost 1 guy, and 3 versus 4 is definitely winnable, and Lavis is going to show that straight away by taking out Jembao. Shah will come in from behind, but those Blue Warriors making things pretty tough. Bias will kind of swing into the time turner, and they tag team to take out 2 members from the side of Death Squad. Blade will do his utter best to at least bag a couple of points for himself. He's going to start by iPans, but he's not going to be able to survive the onslaught of the rest of Do Easy. I mean, Zep Squad, they get 1 kill, but they lose the entire team.
I guess it was worth it. It's not their fault. They didn't expect that. They didn't see Do Easy. The side of the hill that Do Easy popped out from was just beyond the horizon. They just didn't have any opportunities to back away, and they got jumped, man. And I once again do not know how they managed to get one of their own players knocked. It didn't seem like Do Easy sniped them from afar. Could have been a overcooked grenade that perhaps got dropped by their feet.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah,
So
but
sometimes
it's all
things
right.
happen. It's okay.
Yeah. Go in here. Rimnam Village will be held on by Umbrella Reborn. Auto Knockout going to be perhaps feeding on these players. iPens will be the first one to get caught out. And Auto Knockouts going in for those shots already. Will be able to knock him on the ground, get the delete really easily, and force the rest of the players from Umbrella Reborn into the Rimnam Village compound. Auto Knockout, they've got the vantage point. So it does not look like Umbrella Reborn will be able to get out of this unless they get saved by either the blue zone or a third party that comes in here for the distraction on Auto Knockout. Argon MY, on the other hand, taking those shots up against Freedom Rumble by just driving straight up into their compound and jumping out of the car to take this fight.
Oh my goodness, I mean, if Argon and White pull this off, Freedom Rumble are going to be out of top 12. So this is going to be crunch time. This is the showdown that's going to dictate who is going to end up in top 12 by the end of the round. Oren, he's not in a good spot, but he wins the fight. X2 immediately gets the trade back. Apam now needs to join the fight and help his teammate, but can they do it though? Because Argon and Y, they are bloodthirsty, and those bloodlusts might bring us to victory. 2 members of FRU down on the ground. They're going to get the rest of Argon and Y, and by the skin of the teeth, FRU will stay in that top 12 at least for now.
Oh, beautiful plays from Freedom Rumble. They get 4 kills. All of their players still alive and kicking Cobbs, the biggest damage dealer in that battle. Argon MY literally just drove into their death. I do not agree with that aggressive play at all. They are not in a position to get that callus. They are not fast skilled. They are not 4X-Men expert. But I guess they just learned that lesson themselves.
Kind of had to... reminds me a bit of Do Easy, you know, when they are really close previously to get into top 12, and they had this one round to make it happen, and they blew it. I would say R1MY is definitely a good attempt, but Freedom Rumble just had better CQC in that situation. I mean, you see the tag team, the juggling between the members of Freedom Rumble in and out of Time Turner to trade blows with R1MY. It was just slightly better coordinated from FRU. I think if R1MY didn't have to deal with, you know, such a well-orchestrated offense from Freedom Rumble, probably would have won that. But when you get into these kind of CQC, it ends up being a coin flip to a certain extent. And Argon and White, they were not able to call the right side of the coin, and they will end up losing out the entire team.
Now let's see exactly what Zapnu will be able to pull off in here. ITX, SAF right in front. Tactical Index, one of the teams that have been able to show us their furious side, and then their very, very subtle side. Tactical Index, they don't seem to be popping off that much. I feel, I wonder, is it because they're too comfortable, or is it just because the underdogs are just stepping it up and they don't seem to be getting Lady Luck on their side that much?
I feel like Tactical Index is, again, a very opportunistic team.
Oh, nice.
The fact that they're in top 8 means that they're doing something right. You know, they are refining their gameplay. For Bloody Hit, they are facing off Cannot Brain, and of course Cryfu will be the first point of contact. But it's not, he can't run too much farther unless Cannot Brain don't go for the immediate push, and it seems like that's going to be the case. In fact, I think Bloody Hit, they have Cannot Brain surrounded. Now it's all about winning the gunfights, and with Multi down early on, this is going to buy a bit of time for Cannot Brain to push on with that advantage. And one is the gun down Morgana. So Bloody Hit, despite having a bit more of an angle to play with, they might not be able to get out of this alive, because Mark is going to get pushed by the members of Cannot Brain. He does down Samurai, but he won't be able to finish him off because time is not on his side. He will have to rely on that blue zone to push Cannot Brain into a bad position. He does turn the corner to gun down guns, but at the end of the day, it is Cannot Brain that reigns supreme. They're gonna plant their flag on the dead bodies of Bloody Hit.
Yeah, that's fine, man. I mean, even if they do go down here early, they don't have that much to worry about because they've done enough in here. They're 21 points ahead of Views. Views not playing at the moment. They will get their chance later on in the final 2 matches of the day. But Bloody Heads should be able to recover. They've got one more game ahead. And I think that, this is the breather that they need after they've gone in there and given it their all in the previous match. So let's see exactly what they'll be able to do later on. Auto Knockout would be able to perhaps meet Freedom Rumble shortly. Just a little bit of that open area between Freedom Rumble and Auto Knockout. If Auto Knockout catches win of Freedom Rumble, it's game over for Freedom.
Yeah, I mean, FRU, they have nowhere to go but forward, and it's straight into the Tiger's Den. The AKO Legend in a pretty good spot. The rotation from FRU, definitely a good one as well. Sometimes you want to move along the coastline just so that you can avoid all these confrontations. But if you run into the spot where FRU is in right now, kind of unlucky, but you have to make something happen. They had a good start. They took out on Malaysia, the team that is about to catch up to them, so they will stem the bleeding. But they cannot, slack just yet. If they can get through AKO, that is going to put them in a more comfortable spot. But even if they don't, at least they know they bought themselves one extra round.
Do Easy hopping into towards the zone real quick, and they will be safe for the time being. It's going to be ITX taking up a fight against MTX, outnumbered for the time being, but Trix manages to tap his health right back up. I meant to say top, but it's okay. We will let that one slide, Husky.
It's okay. It happened. I mean, when I was casting with Beef Mommy, my English completely went haywire. I said worse. So it's like this England completely falling apart. So you're doing fine.
Sometimes the England just goes haywire, man. Yeah. But it's all right. It's all right. We will be focusing right back onto Auto Knockout as they spot SAF. But Auto Knockout in the danger zone, they won't be able to jump out or go in for that aggressive push. Metrics in a similar situation. So everybody's got to stay put. SAF, on the other hand, cack away from this spot if they want. Auto Knockout will not be able to go into pursuit. And this might just be the game changer that SAF needs.
Yeah, we'll see if SAF can make it work. I mean, they are in a pretty decent spot. They're not pressured to take any fights. So they probably can wait a bit longer and see how this pans out. I mean, SAF, again, they're at this point where if they mess up the first two rounds, not a surprise. They have to circle in their favor. They can't gatekeep, I believe, Umbrella Reborn and Do Easy. But knowing SAF, there's a chance that they might start moving in, and if they do so, it's gonna be straight into AKO Legend, and you have Freedom Rumble, and they've got Tactical Instax on the horizon as well.
And I think this time we need to keep our eyes open for 4X-Men Expert because they seem to be playing properly once again, moving in really slow, just beyond the safe zone, but they've got about 40 odd seconds to move on in, and it'll be all clear. The one that they will probably come across would be Tactical Intex, and that's not really a fight that 4X-Men Expert won't be able to take on. But that being said, Tactical Intex has been hungry to eliminate 4X-Men Expert because they're literally just 3 points behind them on the leaderboards thus far, Husky.
Yeah, I mean, 4X-Men Expert.
And as we say that,
they started out. I mean, 4X-Men Expert, I was just about to say, for the first quarter of the group stage, they are just climbing. I mean, they're the new kids on the block, right? They come into FFMC, they put on a stellar performance, qualify for the grand finals, and now in MCP Season 2, they are still in top 8. And this is going to be the deal breaker. They have already killed out one member from ITX. This is going to give them the advantage. And Rybel, he is very far in front, but it also gives them the side angle to work with. Rosso does take up a glory on this off screen, but it's a very dangerous encounter between ITX and 4X-Men Expert. I mean, Shooks, he does take a bullet to the head, but somehow survives that fatal shot. And for 4X-Men Expert, they're going to slowly push in, and for ITX, they will need to come up with a plan right here, right now.
And 4X-Men Expert going in for the snuff. Maru, with so much of pressure, will be able to take down that glue wall. So the defense for Shooks will be reducing. 4X-Men Expert flanking in from the right. Maru with the backup shot right in front is probably going to be the first one to get taken down with a well-placed nade. It does not go in for the knock, but Maru with this wraparound should be able to get it done. Shook right in front. Goku manages to get the nade and it goes in for that knock. Zapnu so low and he's down as well. ITX on the verge of elimination, and the obliteration by 4X-Men Expert absolutely clean. Nah, not so, as they drop Rybel in the equation.
Yeah, they lose Riot Bell. They only got 3 points because the last member of ITX surrendered to the blue zone. But end of the day, 4X-Men Experts still maintain at least a lead over ITX. Now, it's not just a 3-point difference. That is going to be increased for sure by the end of this round. But after they took out ITX, the next course on the menu is going to be Metrics. Metrics catching up to Freedom Rumble, but they're also pretty close to Argon Malaysia. So we see Metrics can make a difference right here.
Bro, do easy, man. Right in front of 4X-Men Expert. I think 4X-Men Expert's going to stop in here for a quick appetizer before they go in for their main course. And do easy, not going to be making it easy at all. Challenging Maru. Shah goes in for the knock. Jembal drops Goku. Spade manages to delete Jembal as a retaliation. 4X-Men Expert just with Spade alone now, trying to survive outside with the medkit gameplay. Blue Zone going to be putting on so much of pressure, but he still has got the medkits to go in for the game of survival. Are we going to be able to see Spade get this completed? 2 more medkits in his hands right now. The guy needs to move and manages to loot up a little bit more. Great plays coming through for Spade in here from 4X-Men Expert. Come on, Spade. Make it through. We need you in that final circle.
Oh, he might be able to make it through. He restocked his medkit. Now he went from like what 2 medkits to 7. But Shah is prone down there. Like if Shah can actually ambush him, he has the inhaler. He's got a big case. So close to the circle, but he took a bit too long, and he's gonna die to the blue zone regardless. As Umbrella Reborn will also be the next team to be wiped out. Freedom Rumble not looking too hot. They have 4 points under the belt. Vegeta is the last man alive. But they need more than that. They need way more to solidify themselves in the top spot. Sure, they already have a lead, but you have to remember they are on the ropes. McCrory is gonna bomb take it off screen, but cannot brain. Coming in from behind. With Vegeta, his time is numbered. And this is gonna be the final stand. He has to survive. It's only a matter of when he gets out.
Cannot Brain is still alive and kicking. Do easy, getting taken out. Auto knockout as expected. Moving on into that final circle as the aggressors. The ones that I think who will be able to pick the Booyah up once again. AKO, they look steady. And the ones to challenge them, Metrics as well as Cannot Brain. Too easy, bro. But Metrics, they have got that fire furiously burning in their hearts. They need to take this. They need to get the victory. They are in the 14th position right now. 25 points away from that 12th position, and Ash gets knocked onto the ground.
Yeah, and this is the best spot for AKO Legends simply because they have a compound to work with, so they should be able to gatekeep everyone else and turn this into a firing range. But Taker's gonna be knocked down, and Deikos would need to immediately pick it back out. Samurai, on the other hand, is also gonna lose his life as Rosso holds the fort and prevents everyone from outside to come into the zone, to the compound. Everybody is best to bring his teammates back out. Deikos will go in for the disruption. The Glue War is going to buy a bit of time, but it's going to hurt so much for the Blue Zone. And RNC's day is numbered for sure. He's going to be knocked out, and it's down to both AKO Legend and Metrics. But guess who has the advantage? It's going to be Metrics as Taken is out, and it's going to be Mantai now leading the charge, taking out AKO Legends, and Metrics puts one on the board. This is the Booyah for them, and they're one step closer to the top 12.
Oh, what a play, Metrics. An amazing attempt to get into that final zone, and luck was just on their side. With so much of hard work, they make it up to the top. They bag the Booyah. Earlier on, I mentioned 14th position, 25 points behind that number 12 spot. I think they might have done just enough.
Yeah, they might have done just enough, like you mentioned, to get close.
Yeah.
If not to Freedom Rumble, at least to Argon Malaysia. One more good game, you might see Metrics back in that top 12, which they have been temporarily knocked out of. But I'm pretty sure our host, Daniel Lee and Holly, is going to have a lot to say about this. Let's bring them back onto the broadcast. Guys, welcome back.
Thank you. I do have a lot to say. Argon MY. Why? Why did you throw your lead away? Why?
They try to be fast kill. They try to go in with the vehicle play. They try to be aggressive. They were looking for kills. I agree. You should look for kills, but you should look for kills in that final zone.
I have to ask the question, and I'm not sure if maybe you guys are thinking the same thing. the moment they saw Freedom Rumble's name pop up in the top right-hand corner, do you think that would have given them more confidence in that fight? If it was another team, do you think they would have actually continued on with what they were doing?
Yeah. I agree. I think, the emotions caught up a little bit there as they saw the kill feed, and they might have gotten a little bit too excited. I cannot blame them, right? Because anybody in their position would have looked to do something like that. It was a high risk, high reward. You take those high risks, you might as well get snuffed, right? It's a 50-50 that they bet on.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy who bets on odds like that.
I think the unlucky part was that I don't think they could have done anything differently just because they were getting shot at while they were on the road. So they had to make a pit stop, and that pit stop was FRU's compound. You look at the highlights right now. I don't think they could have gone anywhere. They were forced to take this fight. I mean, Freedom Rumble started it. Argon NY took the chance, and the coin flip just ended in Freedom Rumble's favor. It would have been nice if Argon NY actually took a couple of points off of that, but it was not the case.
Yeah. I agree. But I also think the guy could have just gone straight past that compound.
I mean, it was on fire. I mean, you would panic.
It's going to take the players a while to like run from one window to the other window, on the opposite side of the house and continue taking those shots. I agree. It's the probability of getting away because the car was already on fire is going to be low. But that would be a better chance, man. That would have been a better odd that I would have bet on. Auto knockout, the team that we are expecting to perhaps go into that final zone and back the Booyah. The chance got absolutely ruined thanks to the safe zone, as well as, ITX was it ITX that came in from the back and snuffed them out? Metrics. No, not Metrics. The Metrics was the final fight that they took on.
Cannot Brain.
Cannot Brain. Number one, I didn't expect Cannot Brain to get into that final zone. Okay, no disrespect Cannot Brain, but I was not expecting that. And for them to pull that sort of a performance against AKO, not bad. Well played.
Cannot Brain there. They got their first booyah of the entire league, right? I don't think anyone expected this guy, right? In terms of the team just trying to step up there. But for me, I think it comes down to all of us. Right, we kind of talked a lot about Argon Malaysia. We talked about Bloody Head. We pumped them up a lot, and I think it just went straight to their head in the sense of just overconfidence. Right, at the end of the day, you still need to play smart, and you need to play within your own strategy. Just trying to avoid fights where you need to, or go in aggressive when you can as well. So if we're looking at the standings here of that last game, Metrics on top, right? Just a pretty awesome showing by them, even though they got second place. But then 9 kills is going to really pick them up. AKO Legend, of course, with that booyah, and of course, I think there's a little bit of confusion in terms of the points and the booyahs there, but still 5 kills. Cannot Brain. That's the biggest surprise to me. We haven't seen too many kills from this team, but the fact that they got 7, that says a lot about this team.
I mean, I think for Metrics, if we look at the overall standing, I think Freedom Rumble have successfully widened the gap between 12 and 13 a bit more, simply because they Argon and NY had a pretty horrible start to the round. They got knocked out straight away without getting anything. But for Metrics, it's good news because now they are right beside Argon Malaysia. This could go anyway. I mean, Metrics, to give them one good round, they're going to overtake Argon NY and be in contention for the 12th spot. So Freedom Rumble, they're going to feel a bit more comfortable in the 17 points in terms of the advantage between them and 13th place. So it's one good round for Argon NY or Metrics and one bad round for Freedom Rumble. We could see the tides turn really quickly.
Yeah,
let's put this into context here. Sorry, Bloody Head 290, or sorry, Do Easy with 293 points, Woos with 292, Freedom Rumble with 290. Right, that's 10, 11, 12. I think if you're any of those teams right now, you're like, oh my god, I am freaking out. Anything can happen. We got to play up. We got to step up big.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we do apologize. There was a little bit of a miscalculation on the leaderboards a few moments ago. We are getting that fixed in the background, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But for the time being, it really doesn't matter. We see exactly which one of those teams have gone in there and performed quite well. We see exactly which one of those teams who need to buck up a little bit more in here. But it doesn't really matter. At the end, there you go. We've got the fixed ones.
There we go. I mean, Metrics, they got the booyah, but they only had 5 kills, right? So,
so I guess AKO is in the number 1 spot.
Yeah. 18 is definitely higher than 17. I'm going to throw out some deep analysis here, but 18 is higher than 17.
I mean, for AKO Legends, they're not going to be too bothered about the points that they got, but it's more of a metrics round, I think. I think metrics is going to be the happiest team right now.
Yeah. So I guess overall, AKO still managed to bag that number 1 spot as expected based on, those past performances. We did expect a few more teams to step it up. Once again, I did not expect Cannot Brain to get into that final zone. If they are able to continue this sort of a performance, nothing much is going to change, guys. They are quite far away, but they may be able to ruin quite a number of chances, just like what they almost did for AKO.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta ruin some dreams, eh? If you don't like somebody. Anyway, speaking of dreams, I know all of you wonderful viewers are going to have your dreams come true, because here is our code for today at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you claim it now, share it with your friends as well, because this code expires at the end of this stream. So go, screenshot, I don't know how you want to do it, just input it, claim a code, free stuff. I mean, if you don't want to claim it now, when do you want to claim it? Tomorrow?
Exactly. You can't, because it expires after the stream. Just think about it.
Just think about it. All right. Speaking of things to think about, we do need to talk about our next matchup, which is going to be the final map for teams in Group B. It's Kalahari. Yeah. We all know the Kalahari situations. And I have to say, SAF, I think we were all expecting SAF to blow up like they usually do in this matchup, but they only got 8 points in that last round. They didn't manage to make it too far. Do you think this is going to be the SAF matchup, or are we going to see the actual day that SAF flops? Because this seems to be the day that it might end up being a not SAF day.
I think for SAF, this is probably going to be the worst day if they flunk the last round again. No more, minimum of 50 points per day. This is gonna be probably like 20 or 30 points if this goes on. But we'll see. I mean, SAF, they probably feel way too comfortable right now. So someone gotta give them a push in the right direction. A kick in the backside.
Okay.
All right, so it's going to be match 4. This is going to be Kalahari. We're going to find out if they do, in fact, get motivated and play strong on this one. AJ and Husky, take it away.
Yo, thank you so much, Holla. Now, let's jump on in, Husky, as we see if or not SAF will be able to get it done, or one of the other teams step it up. Do Easy has managed to put themselves in quite the comfortable position in that 10th spot so far. Views sitting down in that 11th position, and Freedom Rumble in that 12th spot. But just a couple of points in between all of these teams. One match can turn all of these things around. And the best part of it all, this is that very last round for Group B.
And you know what I'm looking at? Command Post.
Bloody Head.
Look who's there. Bloody Head. That's not the main character, though. The main character is Freedom Rumble. They are at Command Post as well. So if Freedom Rumble gets knocked out right now, Argon NY is going to have a great chance alongside Metrics to turn this around. But speaking about Argon NY, they got to go through Umbrella Reborn first to put themselves back in contention for the second spot. And they're off to a good start. Being X2R, let's get a couple of pot shots onto Error. So we'll see if Argon NY can they transition with that opening from that opening to a couple of points.
Bloody Heads as well as Freedom Rumble, they are synced in at a different level altogether. How many times now have they shared this drop zone? And they're going to continuously go in for this fight against each other. It's not going to benefit either side a lot, I mean, one of the two teams needs to start changing their drop sites.
I mean, for Bloody Head, that they're not going to leave Command Post, right? The whole season, they have been dropping Command Post every single game. Even if they don't drop Command Post, even if the flight zone doesn't pass by that area, they will rotate Command Post regardless. So that is their whole curve. Like, you can't force them away. It's their house. They don't pay rent, but they claimed it. Argon NY, they do get the first knockdown on Umbrella Reborn, and judging by how far everyone else from UMB is away from each other, maybe Argon NY can get a couple of kills on the board.
Okay, now let's see if or not Argon MY will be able to go in here for that aggressive take onto the Umbrella Reborn side. Grizzly, iPants right in front. It should be a 4-on-2 situation.
Nice catch.
As Error gets knocked onto the ground because of an error on his own. Grizzly now trying to come in for the save, but a little bit too late. And X2R together with Sparks should be able to go in for the push. Pedro trying to pull a long flank, but he's a little bit late to the side as Sparks takes advantage with his shotgun going in for the push. Time turner now being pulled out. 2-on-1 situation. ZJ almost getting taken down, but manages to go in for the knock on me. But Umbrella Reborn eliminated.
Great start for Algron and Y, making up for the disastrous game tree that they had early on, getting knocked out by Freedom Rumble. I mean, Freedom Rumble so far so good, still safe with the command post. They're sharing the the northern side. They're claiming the northern side for themselves. I mean, Bloodyhead has control of the south side. This is kind of like a division in power and territory, but you know that Bloodyhead is gonna make them move pretty soon, or at least judging by the trajectory of where these two teams are moving, Bloodyhead feels like they're ready for a push, and Freedom Rumble, they're no strangers to confrontations, and they're gonna take on the challenge. So we'll see if Bloodyhead can take out FRU, or will FRU kind of come out on top.
Well, literally the ones who managed to go on top, get the bird's eye view, a little bit of information, intel on their end, might be able to get the better side of this, but they have to be careful of those nades. And as I was about to point that out, Morgana goes in for a knock. Cobbs are in on the ground. Bloody Heads going in for the push. Orin about to get the lead. Ground as well. Vegeta, run boy, run as fast as your little feet can take you. Bloody Heads, look at them. They're not even going in to delete the rest of his team members. They're going in for the chase. Cryfu coming in for the pinch, and the flank should be possible. Vegeta jumping out of his safe zone.
Goodness.
Freedom Rumble getting eliminated so clean.
There's a phrase that that famous physician Nikola Tesla once said, the stars align. It's not what he said, but the phrase
something like that.
It's something like that. The stars definitely align, not for Bloodyhead, but for Argon and Y. The tide has completely turned. Now he's Freedom Rumble that ends the round with 0 points. Argon and Y, they have a breath of fresh air. Not just them, Metrics has a chance as well if they survive this onslaught against ITX. And by the looks of things, ITX might be able to get more than just one. The nades are flying in. Those blue walls are going to deflect the utilities away, at least for now. But the two members of Metrics, they are trapped. And it's going to be ITS coming in from the flank and try to wipe them all out. Jumping is under fire as we have Type 64 off screen, taking out members from the side of SAF. The Tricks, so far, so good. Still alive, but I don't know how long they can hold on.
Bro, Zeth took down McRory with a trip mine, and then they deleted him with another trip mine. They put 2 trip mines side by side, and the poor guy crawled onto it. It would have been epic if we had side off that, but unfortunately we don't. ITX snuffing out Manchai, and Metrics look like they just want to run away from this battle. Shot getting shot at, manages to pop out that glue wall, and then he backs away from this battle. Metrics trying their best to survive. Ash on the ground. Chook should be able to ask these questions from Shafik, and he does. Beautiful snipe from Trix, deletes Ash, and that's all ITX needs. 4 kill points in the bag.
If there is yin and yang, this game and the previous one is the representation of that. Everything worked against Argon Malaysia in Game 3, but everything is working in their favor. Not only did Freedom Rumble get knocked out early on, Metrics, the team that is catching up to them, also got knocked out with 0 points. I mean, Argon and Y, if they look at the kill feed, now they just need to tell themselves to make it to that last circle. Don't worry about getting a lot of kills, just survive. This is their chance to bridge the gap between them and Freedom Rumble. 17 points is the magical number, and I think Argon and Y might just be able to pull it off.
I think so too. 4X-Men Expert, one of those teams that I think will be able to get into the final zone once again because of their performance in here. They're sticking together, not breaking apart, not pulling off any cheese strats, not trying to attempt anything new. I think they feel the heat. They understand that, they've played cheeky enough for a long time and they need to start catching up, because all those moments where they were being cheeky, they just allowed Almighty to overtake them on the leaderboards. And now 20 points behind Almighty. If they don't start hustling now, they don't get to see that extra 200 USD.
Yeah, they have a lot of work to do. I mean, for X-Men Expert, it's 7th place, a pretty good spot to be in. They 7 points ahead of Tactical Intact. I mean, for these two teams, I'm pretty sure they're happy about this, right? It is their kind of their first rodeo in a major, so being in top 8 itself is a huge honor. I mean, behind ITX is going to be Bloody Hit, who is like 17 points to catch up. But every single team right now is cutting it pretty close. I mean, from 6th place all the way down to 14. There's a huge chance that the standing is going to shift one way or the other. This next circle is going to be important though. SAF, they're on the very southern side. Now it's going to be a long journey towards Bayfront and Refinery. Do Easy still controlling Refinery as always, but look at where AKO is. They are at Bayfront, one of the best positions to be in right now.
And Bloody Heads as usual at command post, but the question is this time when SAF comes towards command post, will they abandon it a little too early or will they punish SAF? Will SAF get caught between the blue zone as well as Bloody Heads? Bloody Heads need to take Cannot Brain out of this equation now and prepare for that fight with SAF, which obviously they cannot anticipate. But if they abandon their location, if they abandon command post early and SAF manages to get in there, as that free fire, unfortunate timing will befall them, Bloody Heads will be in a super sticky situation, Husky.
And let's see if Bloody Head can make it through to this once more. I mean, they got a couple of shots onto one, courtesy of Morgana, so they think that they're putting a bit of pressure onto Cannot Brain, because they Cannot Brain, they're actually moving away. Good on their part, because Bloody Head are on the edge of their circle, so Cannot Brain, if they manage to move in and avoid this fight, they get more chances of survival. I mean, Bloody Head, so far with 4 points, they did get an early wipeout onto Freedom Rumble at the start of the game, and they dominated command post as always. And now the question is, how far can Cannot Brain go? They were the ones that punished AKO and crippled them in the previous match. So AKO, they're definitely looking for payback.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to be able to find that payback as well, because earlier Cannot Brain took out, Do Easy in the vicinity as well, knocking Samurai down and then getting the delete as well. Not going to be easy for the players of Cannot Brain as they take on AKO. This is a different scenario altogether. Earlier, AKO had to deal with the blue zone as well as Cannot Brain. Now, they can focus in on taking these kills.
Yeah, I mean, Cannot Brain, they have not much room to work with. I mean, probably the best option is also the worst option, which is to take on AKO Legend with a man disadvantage. But at this point, not much that they can do. Do Easy already know where they are, so there's a lot of information being given away to AKO Legend. They know that Cannot Brain is not the only team around, but they also know that in terms of CQC, AKO is just more mechanically superior compared to Cannot Brain. It seems like AKO, they're going to play this safe and move away to relocate to a better position. SAF, they have control over Refinery because Do Easy kind of moved away. But we'll see if this is going to work out. SAF has a man disadvantage.
Yeah, I really liked the play that Taken was going with earlier. If he had managed to pull that off, it would have definitely been one of the craziest highlight reels of Free Fire. He goes upstairs, pulls out the glue ball, expecting to catch the other team off guard by tricking them, making them think that he's on that second floor. But it was just a little too late for him to pull that off. They took their own sweet time getting him there.
Yeah, all the mind game. I think early on when Argon MY took down, was it Zev Squad? They actually used Zev Squad's glue wall against them. That is how Spark kind of got the flank off. Now that I think of it, just all the minute details.
Yeah.
But you can see, I mean, the glue wall just gives you so much security, right? It makes you feel safe. It blocks projectiles unless your enemy has that one specific weapon that just penetrates through the glue wall. Every other bullet is just going to be stopped by the structure regardless. AKO Legend in the center of the circle, they're going to be joined by ITX. This is going to be pretty interesting because all the other teams are going to start pouring in from all corners of the circle. So we're going to get a scenario where everyone just starts shooting at each other, with no regards for other people. I mean, Forestman Expert, going to be in the crosshair of Taken.
Now let's see if or not AKO will be able to knock Rybel out of the equation. He manages to spot him, but it is Rybel that instead takes him down. Beautiful glue wall right in front of the window to allow him to get picked up. It is iPad taking down Malty, and then the delete coming through as well. A little bit too quick, and now Do Easy trying to snuff out Bloody Heads as they try to maintain with their score and climb up a little bit more. Do Easy is 1 point behind. Oh, sorry. Do Easy's 21 points behind Bloody Heads. And if they want to make it through, if they want to make it even closer, they need to do way more than that, Husky.
Yeah. They're 1 point ahead of Wheels, but like I said, they're 21 points behind a Bloody Head. If they can get a Booyah, they could definitely overtake Bloody Head in this round. But Bloody Head still in the game, and they somehow snuck into a compound only to be shut down by Zep's squad. Oh, so it was Umbrella Reborn that got taken out early on. Now, my mistake. Zep squad still alive. So, Zep squad fans, please do not clip this. But yeah, I mean, Zep squad is very far away from the 12th place. I mean, 227 compared to Metrics 272. A lot of gap to cover, but when you're in these kind of positions, the next best thing you can do is to mess up everyone else's points. Do Easy.
Yeah.
They're rushing in to contest AKO Legends. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, now Do Easy, AKO, 4X-Men Expert, taken from afar with the grenade launcher. And 4X-Men Expert is the distraction that Do Easy needs. And Do Easy, if they manage to pull this off, they should be able to eliminate auto knockout from this equation and then continue in for that play, for that final save. So this is going to be the final push. Jokes here from the shot from afar. Decos manages to go in for the knockout to Bayets. There's no delete coming through just yet. And out of nowhere, Maru takes the kill. Shah for Do Easy. They are trying to stand strong. And auto knockout getting snuffed one after the other.
They actually took out auto knockout. I mean, Do Easy, they lost by yes, but they have 6 kills in the bag. SAF, they're on the horizon, but they're not in a condition to fight. So for SAF, it's all about the survival game, tactical intact. So they do see Argon MY on the very far end of the circle. With AKO taken out, Argon MY feels like they have the very straight route into the same zone as Rybel is going to throw that nade and he connect on the iPans. That is going to be a finisher right there. There's nothing much Do Easy can do in that situation. But guns from the side of Cannot Brain is going to take out place with the grenade launcher as Zipnu is going to watch from afar as that Hawkeye for his team. ITX still in this game as Bloody Head is going to be knocked out. This is an absolute bloodbath as Cannot Brain surrender to the blue zone. Shot will pick up 2 for himself on courtesy of Zep squad members as 4X-Men Expert continues the surge into the blue zone, but they are now going to be in range of Argon MY, and Pedro will spray out Maru. No chance for them to survive. Do Easy gets knocked out next.
Rybel here, final player for the side of 4X-Men Expert, just staying put, trying to make sure he does not get caught out. X2R takes himself out of the equation. Spark manages to go in for the knock on Shook. Argon MY still trying to get into that final zone, and Peter wants to back this, and Spark managing to go in for the delete as well. Argon MY doing amazing in here, Husky. What an unexpected showing on here for today. Pedro very close to getting taken out, and now SAF, let's go! Unfortunately takes himself down with a nade.
They might be able to do this though. There's still a chance. Maybe Pedro, he's trying to crawl away from that blue zone, but he's closing in. First Man Expert is going to be out. Argon MY have most members, and they do it once more. Second Booyah of the day, and guess what? Argon MY have completed that redemption arc. Last game on this Sunday for them, and they close it out with the best possible result.
I am super duper amazed, man. Once again, everybody thinks that Group A is the group of death. For me, it's Group B, especially in a stage of the competition like this. All of these teams are hungry. Metrics, Argon MY, Do Easy, Bloody Head, Freedom Rumble, and SAF, the only one within this group that does not have to struggle, does not have to stay hungry, but they stay hungry, Husky. It doesn't matter how the chips fall. For us, we are having a lot of fun. Let's bring back Daddy as well as Holler back in here. Welcome back, guys.
What a way to finish the round for Argon MY. I mean, that Booyah offset their bad performance in the last round.
Yeah.
Enough.
The
You want to
stars
be first
align.
place or do you want to be 12th place, right? I think Argon, you got to pick one of the two, and I think they really like being on top. The second Booyah, did not really expect that one. But what about that grenade from Pydro? Like, was that not the most ridiculous thing? Like, you're going in and you blow yourself up? Like, that is the highlight reel of bloopers right there.
X2 took himself out with a grenade launcher, and then Pedro was like, I can match that. Watch me, I'm gonna use a grenade to take myself out. But they still survived until the very end. And thankfully, no one was there to punish them. I think they ended the round with like, what? So,
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they overtook Freedom Rumble. That
Easily.
Yeah.
I think so.
Easily.
Easily?
I think they would have easily taken over.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, they needed 17 points. They got the booyah. They bagged quite a number of kills. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do so, right? And I'm a little sad. I have become a Group B fanboy, and now the teams in Group B are no longer playing.
Look, okay, to be fair...
Yeah,
hang
Holla,
on.
you say sports, bro.
Look, I mean, A versus C is pretty good too, because if you take a look at the teams in A versus C, right, the majority of the teams in those two groups are in the top half of the bracket. So yes, we're not really looking at the lower end race anymore, but we do get to see some really top tier Free Fire.
Yeah, of course. And that's the problem here, because it's going to be a little... we should be able to anticipate exactly what's going to happen, who's going to get eaten up alive, who's going to be able to climb up there on top. The excitement, we don't see the excitement coming out from, teams like Z Squad, Umbrella Reborn. We saw a little bit of it a couple of weeks ago, and it seems like these guys have given up on the league stages itself, and I hope that changes in the final two matches that we have in here for today, because if they can actually show us what they've shown us in the past couple of weeks, we are in here for a treat, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna see that, and you're seeing that even with Argon Malaysia. I think that these guys are 11th place. They're 11th or 12th place. They're definitely in the top 12 right now, especially with two Booyahs right now. I mean, that was just an amazing performance by them, really putting themselves back in the game. Now I'm worried for Woos, Freedom Rumble, Metrics. Like, those are the teams that have kind of faltered. We haven't seen too much, but let's look at this. 25, what a monster game by Argon Malaysia. 13 kills on top of that. Tactical Intex, this is the powerhouse of Group C, who has been largely quiet. This is a pretty big one by them. They 18 points for that. Do Easy again. Step it up when they need to. 14 points for them. And 4X-Men Expert with 11 points. And then, of course, Z Squad and Bloody Head. And, Supreme Assault Forces, yes, they've been kind of missed today. Do you think that they're sitting in their ivory tower just sipping tea and just being like, look at these other guys play?
Yeah, we've said a couple of times that SAF can take a break for a week and they don't even have to bat an eyelid. Yeah, here's them taking a break, and they literally do not have to do anything. They don't have to stress. They don't have to feel the heat like 4X-Men Expert, who clearly have started feeling the heat. They are bringing in a little bit more of those points in comparison to yesterday.
So moving on, because we are going to be saying goodbye to Group B for this week. They've completed all of their matches. We do need to start considering what's going to be happening in A versus C, right? Because we're still looking at 2 more matches for both of these groups, and the potential for some shifts to be made on the main leaderboard. If anything, I want to look at the leaderboard now, because I want to see what's happening with that 12th spot. I need to see it with my own 2 eyes.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Argon Malaysia, they've made their way in. I think the other one was kind of like the falling of Blacklist, right? We haven't seen too much. Again, they have 2 more games. They've stepped it up a little bit, but in terms of placement, that is a team to really want to be looking out for. Now, 4X-Men Expert, AKO Legend, another 2 from Group C. They've had a decent showing so far. They kind of need to just step up, make sure they finish strong, because you don't want to get bounced out of the top 8. I think in terms of money, you definitely want to be kind of up there. So, Husky, what team kind of sticks out to you going into this Group A versus C matchup here?
Definitely PSG Radicals, but I want to keep my eye on Fast Q Malaysia once more, because I think the storyline for this team has been spectacular, right? They kind of rose from the kid that is the outcast to now being in top 3. They have the spot. They force the spotlight to shine on them in a very good way. They've always been living in the shadow of Freedom Rumble. Whenever we talk about Fast Q, we talk about, they are kind of like Freedom Rumble but worse. But right now they are Freedom Rumble. They're not even in top 12, And you have FastQ and MY in top 3 with more than 100 points ahead of FRU. That is a huge turnaround across like what 4 or 5 weeks.
So fast kill though, you said the whole analogy of outcast another kid, but are they able to handle that social pressure? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where they need to keep it up consistently. Are they able to perform at a high level, like moving forward, especially when you have a monster of SAF and PXG, both, hovering down, putting them into a place, and then they are the most popular kids and in this scenario.
I think they probably won't beat SAF and PXG Radicals if you look at like the overall performance. But I feel like they have a pretty good chance in beating AKO Legend and Blacklist and Almighty. Right? There's a reason they're in 3rd place. It's also because like AKO Legend and Blacklist had poor games so far. But with what FastQ MY has shown us, I definitely would put them slightly above AKO Legend, even though the throughout majority of the league, AKO Legend felt like the stronger team.
Okay. So it looks like we're going to go take a little bit of a break as we get into Group A versus Group C. That's going to be coming up. That's going to be with Bermuda. But first, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Free Fire is one of the most popular shooting games in the world. And recently, we developed Free Fire Max as a separate app and upgraded the gameplay experience.
This was a completely new concept for us. Every team that was involved had to pave new paths in their respective crafts.
We optimized Free Fire Max according to our countless hours of FGD content.
Through Free Fire Max, our players can experience the Free Fire they're so familiar with, possibly with more treasured memories.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, PXG Radicals, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Metrics eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Fastkill MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they're back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Index right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet.
Hello and welcome to day 10 of the Free Fire MCP Majors Season 2. We're going into match 5 here, Danny. Now let's talk about A versus C. Tactical Intex 4X Man, they had a pretty good showing in the last match, going in 2nd and 4th place. But are the teams in Group A actually afraid of any of these teams in Group C?
No, to be fair, I don't think these groups are afraid of each other at all because they are basically in the same situation. Both teams seem to have an equal number of Apex Predators in the group, and I think for the Apex Predators, all they're thinking about is getting the points. Who can they feed off of? And essentially in this, it's a free-for-all because it looks like it's going to be a coin flip. When you have too many Apex Predators, you have to also take into consideration what kind of factors are going to be happening in the game. Are you going to have a that game? Is it going to be a disadvantage because of RNG? Where's the circle? What weapons you have? What weapons the enemy has? So when I look at ANC, every match just feels as if you are picking a card and you just have to accept what you're given.
Yeah, and the previous points have kind of gone with that in terms of the just overall. I think B was actually the highest scoring entire group. That was in the last play day. A and C are kind of a little bit behind in that sense. But if we're looking at the overall standings here, right? 3rd place through 8th place. This seems like a bit of a rat race in the middle tier here. But then 9th all the way down to about, let's go with about 14. I think that those have a realistic chance of being into the, the final 3 or 4 spots, getting into that grand finale of the top 12 here. But man, this is very, very tight. I think that there's so much to just talk about, at least in these 2 different segments. Which one do you want to break down first?
I probably want to break down some of the teams that during the first round for both A and C. So one of the teams I'm a little bit worried about here is PXG Radicals. They only managed to get, I say only, they got 15 points. Now for a team that's at the top of the bracket, this is not a lot to work with. It's very easy for one of these teams that's just under them to overtake them. So PXG, they're going to have to try and really pull their finger out during this next round if they want to maintain their position. I think in the same boat, for X-Men, although they're not as high as PXG, I want to make a quick mention. Maybe you have the same sentiments that I do.
They have been. They haven't been getting a whole lot of kills, but they've been doing well, at least in terms of placement. I think they've just turned it a little more passive. They've gone into survival mode, just making sure that they're in the top 12. They realize that, hey, it might not be the biggest deal just pushing really hard now. Maybe we're looking to save strats for that grand finale, but we're going to find out as it goes into Group A versus C. This is AJ and Husky. Please take it away.
Thank you to Holler and Danley. Yes, it's going to be A versus C. And this is where the interesting part comes in. Both groups have the same amount of Apex Predator. Instead of SAF kind of being the top dog, now they are out of the picture. We're looking at AKO Legends. We're looking at Blacklist, Almighty. You name it, we got it. And who do you think is going to take the cake for these last 2 matches?
Views. It's such a risky pick, right? But I think Views, they are desperate. They need to step it up. And I feel like in these final 2 matches, we might be able to see them in that final zone. And they need it, man. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. And if Views does not step it up, the probability of them losing their standing within the top 12 definitely is there. So that fire has been turned up. The heat most definitely is there. I want to see if or not they will be able to achieve that, because not just Views, for X-Men Expert as well as Almighty, they have been on, I wouldn't say on the exact same trajectory. Almighty, they've been improving with a little bit lesser consistency. For X-Men Expert, were on a run of practicing or trying, weird tactics, but they are back on the roll now. So, these 3 teams, man, we definitely have to keep our eyes peeled for.
And this feels like deja vu, nearing the end of the group stage. Wills once again finds himself in the same position as they were in Season 1, where a couple of games is going to determine whether they make it or not. Now, again, in 12th spot, 2 points away from 13. Thankfully, Freedom Rumble is not playing anymore, so Wills have 2 rounds to make a difference and to catch up again, to Argon and Y, because Argon and Y, they're also done for the day. So Wills, this is the time for them to make a splash.
Blacklist International taking the fight up against Almighty early on. Views almost were able to perhaps get a couple of free kills on the expense of Zeth, but thankfully Zeth backs away from that equation. Almighty, they should have the flank on the players of Blacklist International. When they want to start this fight, they should be able to bring on quite a bit of pressure, but they have to be really careful. Jay-Z now, nade right there behind him. Cobra pulls pulls out the time turner in anticipation of some shots, but he just wastes that. Jay-Z, 10 HP down now, should be able to pull out the time turner. Finally does it, but Cobra backs away. And now this is a good fight between the two. And now it's a game of stalemate. Jay-Z backs away. Cobra right outside. Time turner not pulled out by either side. Medkit cannot be used.
What?
And it's just going to be Jay-Z
What?
who goes down.
What the? How did Cobra do that? Cobra is probably the only guy I've seen in Free Fire that can move faster than a bullet. I mean, Almighty, the first time they did this, they failed. The second time, they got crushed by none other than Cobra. So, I'm at a loss of words. I have no idea how he does that.
Yeah, unfortunate for the side of Almighty, the one that got caught out in that matchup was Jay-Z. And he's just not been finding his stride in this competition. Hopefully, he will be able to recover in the grand finals because his squad will most definitely be needing him at his 100%. Batman, like the first match of yesterday, he takes his rightful place on a roof. But is this a blind bat or a blind bat with supersonic abilities? Because even yesterday, the supersonic abilities weren't used.
I mean, he's still depressed, right?
he saw that. He saw Ajim. He saw Cobra as well, as I believe, but he didn't take those shots. He wanted to stay silent.
I mean, Batman, you know it's daytime, right? You know, like...
He's taking cover. He wants some shadow, bro. The sun is out. He can't do it.
He just can't, It takes a lot of courage to pull the trigger.
Takes vision to pull the trigger. Well, Bat can't see in the bright daylight. But unfortunately for the side of Blacklist International, they are on a hunt. They are looking for this bat, but they can't fly. That bat can. The bat's sitting on the roof, quite comfortable. Ren now should be able to turn things around. Now, Almighty just needs to catch one Blacklist player out of position, go in for the snuff, and then run away. That's all they need to do. Shira has got the right idea here. He backs away. Batman has been spotted, and he crawls away to the other side of the roof, and he finally runs.
Yeah,
he doesn't fly.
They immediately went for plan B. They just run. I mean, Batman needs to fix that echo location a bit. If he gets away, it's gonna be great. If he gets shot right now, it's gonna be not so great. But knowing Blacklist International, you can see that Cobra is already on the move. So even if Almighty was able to create a bit of distance, they have to keep running. Like, they cannot be remotely close to Blacklist International, because you know that Blacklist is gonna keep hunting Almighty down until they wipe everyone out. I mean, Batman is 100% trapped. So Shiron and Ren, they are going to be the last two guys that carries the flag of Almighty. Batman, we'll see if he survives.
And even if he can't, at least to get one kill point on behalf of his team should be good enough for Batman to get done. Problem is, I do not think he has got his usual grenade launcher on him. Batman standing there, not taking that shot. Trigger goes in for the knock onto Ajim, but unfortunately Clanks is on site, manages to go in for the knock as well as delete onto Batman and Almighty. Now with just two players, and out of nowhere, here comes PXG to ask some questions.
This is horrible for Almighty. They are completely trapped. I mean, Ren is dead, so Shira will be the final standing member. But with how PXG is playing, they drive past him. They saw Ren, so maybe in their mind they know that Almighty has one more guy left, but they have no idea where Shira is, so they're not gonna bother checking those houses. They just want to continue down their path and just make up for lost time. Blacklist International will run into the second challenger. This time, it's the team that you have your eyes on. Wills, Al Forte with the opening, and they're gonna take out Clanks.
Beautiful play, and Views just needs to find another one for themselves, but that player for Blacklist International running away as far and as fast as he can. Blacklist International, this is what I like about them. At times when they know it's needed, they just go in for the split, man. They don't care breaking up, they don't care breaking apart, as long as you can play that game of survival. But how far has this team fallen? Blacklist International playing a game of survival? I never thought I would ever say that.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I guess for them it is okay. Their numbers aren't too bad. Definitely on a very subtle downward trajectory. But at the end of the day, still top 5. Not too shabby, but tactical
Yeah.
intact though, not so lucky. They have been spotted out by Will's vehicle set on fire, and these guys from ITX are completely stranded out in the open, and that freeway might just be their resting spot if Will's is able to go in for the push. The rest of ITX, they're actually coming in for the backup. They have coverage from the hills as well, so they have a bit of vantage point. The problem is the other 2 members on that freeway with absolutely no cover other than glue walls. ITX, they'll need to make something happen.
And I don't think views. I thought Embalore just lost his life there. Alforte goes down Zapnu from afar. But now it doesn't really matter. Aoki is that. Pulls out his time turner. Embalore instead gets dropped down. Now views are in a very sticky situation. ITX from afar manages to go in for the delete on the MVP of views. And this just got all that much harder. Nade right beside Alforte. Not going to be taking him down. The guy doesn't even have a medkit on himself. Time turner will be pulled out just to give them a little bit of a slayer. And Alforte with that 20 HP actually goes in for a knock.
Yeah, but he's also going to be taken down. Aoki will be the last standing member. He does down the offense of ITX. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. ITX still wipes out Wills. Unfortunately for Trix, he's gonna bleed out. As yeah, you gotta blame Zipnu a bit. You know, instead of going for Trix, he went for Shooks. No, we see a bit of favoritism right there. I mean, ITX could have saved everyone, but at least they took out Wills. So not good for Wills at all.
Terrible for views. They only have one more round to pull it off in the next game. I guess Kalahari will be a better option for them. Hopefully they will be able to find their footing, because if they don't, then down into the depths of perhaps not qualifying for the grand finals. Next week, the final week in the league stages, hopefully they will be able to find their footing. Tactical Index, on the other hand, they for X-Men Expert, who seem to have finally found their stride in this week.
Yeah, and hopefully that is going to continue for X-Men Expert. I mean, they will have Cannot Brain in front of them, and for X-Men Expert, this is not going to be too big of a challenge. Cannot Brain so far, no booyah under the name. Most of their points come from survival, only 58 kills, so that really says a lot about their gunfighting prowess. And you compare that to X-Men Expert, X-Men Expert just wins by a mile. Position-wise, I think X-Men Expert still needs to be very careful, because not only Cannot Brain is their opponent, they also have Umbrella Reborn somewhere nearby.
Yeah, and it's just an unfortunate situation for Cannot Brain, because they are now caught in a situation where the whole of the league stages has been unfortunate for Cannot Brain, right? They have put themselves in many situations that they cannot come out of. You are absolutely right. They can find those placement points, but they just do not have the mechanical supremacy to take on some of these gunfights. But it's okay. We've seen teams in the past that don't do so well, and we see them in MCP. What a huge difference. Bloody Head, a perfect example for that. So hopefully we can see more of Cannot Brain in the following seasons.
Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, these guys, they are here for a reason. Obviously, we're seeing kind of the food chain. We're seeing which team is more dominant and which one is just kind of the bottom feeder. But at the end of the day, the qualifiers to be, the top 18 most prestigious team in a major is an achievement that they should be proud of. Blacklist International, though, under heavy pressure from PXG Radicals. I mean, Insanity has Arjun pinned down alongside Barba. They're going to eventually take him out. And even though Phoenix is nearby, there's no way that he can get close to Arjun to bring him back up. So they will have to surrender him, and PXG Radicals will bag their second point.
Yeah, I need, hopefully, the players actually watch this later on, because PXG, they have shown this example not once, not twice, but many a times now as to how they always overtake their opponents and manage to win these gunfights. It's always that split. It's always understanding those angles. And once you catch that one player in an angle like that, no glue wall will be able to save you. And, you've got a sniper that you're going up against. You know exactly how the penetration of the bullet is. You should be able to take some damage. Each glue wall provides you about 3,000 damage to absorb before it gets taken down. So it's just a matter of time that PXG manages to take you out of the equation, unless of course a third party appears out of nowhere. But on Mabuda, it's a little tough for that. It's a huge map.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot to. I mean, when you are flanked, you kind of need like multiple glue walls to make it happen. But even then, like you said, right, there's the factor of a sniper rifle, and most importantly, you are gonna end up trapped anyways. This is not if you would survive or if you would die, but it's more like when you would die. And in that case, I think for Ajim, that there's no way out. He is completely screwed. But PhD Radicals still circling around Bradley's International, and ITX, they might take these chances, and they took it. They take that opportunity, and they down 2. It's not just Tanamo, but they also found Ray Meow, and Barbara now finds himself in a very bad spot because he has to kind of retreat and save his teammate. Is Sandy forced to join his buddy as well? This is going to give room to Blacklist International. Look at Blacklist. They're running away. They know that ITX is their gateway out of this predicament, and they're going to take that chance. So Blacklist live to fight another day, but for PXG, their days might come to an end.
No, absolutely, man. Beautiful place, but unfortunately, Phoenix has got not much compound to work with. He is still going to be stuck there. Hopefully, for this. The nade coming right back to Taken. He doesn't get taken out by it. Thankfully, jumps away in the nick of time. Goes in for the backstab, but unfortunately, does not go in for a takedown. Tosses out a nade. Still alive. Pulls out a glue wall and heals himself right back up. I don't know exactly how he's going to pull this off now, but a push coming in from Fast Kill MY might just put Auto Knockout out of commission.
I have no idea how AKO did that, but they did God's work. Monito does land the nade on the Taken. On-screen ITX, they finally taken up PSG Radical, so brief of relief for Blacklist International as Taken will be deleted from the server. Fast Kill MY now coming in for Blood. We talk about this team. Top 3 is not enough. They are now looking to slowly inch their way towards the crown as Ali will go in for the push onto Nga, and they will just completely shred him into pieces. AKO Legend, they still are in the game, but you can be super sure that they're not going to pose any threat.
I love it, man. I mean, Fastkill MY, the things that we said that they needed to fix, they have fixed each and every single one of those stuff. And here they come as one of the most solid teams in the MCP Major Season 2. It's going to be Guns. Opportunity goes in for the quick toss of the nade. Will not be able to find anyone as they He gets the hit marker as AKO Legend gets taken out of the equation. FSK, the one who is the one to put that final bullet. 4X-Men Expert taking out a couple of players with a grenade launcher of their own. One eliminated from the back. Umbrella Reborn chipping into this fight as well. And now this fight is going to turn on over. It's 4X-Men Expert taking on Umbrella Reborn.
And I mean, Cannot Brady showed themselves for a split second, and Umbrella Reborn took that chance and ran with it. Now they will have to run into the circle, but they have Forest Man Expert behind them. Let's see what they do. They have a good chance of gatekeeping Forest Man Expert. This is horrible if you are on the receiving end of this. Forest Man Expert, they don't have much to work with. But Spain! Oh, what a great grenade launcher! Finds himself a 2 for both Zay and iPads on the ground, but can they to get the finisher? Zemnu does find error, and UMB, despite having the chance to gatekeep Forest Man Expert, lose 3. Now Grizzly, he is the final barrier between Forest Man Expert and the Sage Stone. It's gonna down Maru to start things off and at least get a secure for himself. There's still more for Forest Man Expert, and in fact, every single member from Forest Man Expert is gonna start piling in to go for the challenge. But Grizzly, he does have the high ground as Almighty gets knocked out of the game in 5th place off screen. But Grizzly might be able to make the biggest difference in this game. Blacklist International are also out, followed by Umbrella Reborn. We're down to top 3.
Now let's see if or not 4X-Men Expert can go in here for the pickup. ITX from across will be taking the fight against Fastkill MY. This is the team that has managed to come in here to also consistently improve day after day, week after week. But now caught whilst they are taking a swim. Monito in the water pulls out the glue wall, but unfortunately, Monito almost taken out by that nade. So little HP left on the guy, but it still survives. Plays all of that medkit gameplay. Needs to pop out the time turner as well. Monito, will he survive? Yes, he does still survive. FSK MY, I do not know how they're doing this, but 4X-Men Expert, we cannot forget them. They're still alive and kicking from the back, and here they come on that mini-map. They might be able to turn things around on ITX by getting this backstab.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the FSK, and if Forest Man Expert take the shot right now and take out ITX, FSK will have a breathing chance, but so far, the pressure is just unbearable. FSK already losing 2 guys to ITX. ITX, they need to make it quick though, because now they know Forest Man Expert is coming in from behind. 11 kills to that 8, 3 men left alive. Goku is going to use that glue wall, but he is also pressured by the blue zone. Everyone else is at the mercy of ITX. This might just be their game. Spady throws 3D down, but FSK, they will take that time to recuperate themselves, but they have not solved the equation of going up this high ground. It's a brutal journey because Forest Transport, they are out. This feels like an ITX game, but it's going to be a 4 versus 3 in favor of FSK. ITX with 13 kills to their name, and Yoon might just be the first one to go down. Shot still has full health. They do down a member from the side of FSK, but FSK, they're somehow winning this low to high ground fight. The nades are not connecting, and this is not good for ITX. They need a bit more time. They need a bit more accurate shots. FSK slowly pushing that lead.
Oh, and now FSK, they do not have that vantage point, but they will still be holding on to their grounds. They are expecting ITX to come in here for the push, and I don't think that's something that ITX wants to pull off for themselves. Yun has not got his health right back up, and he will still be teasing all of those blue zone, but unfortunately for him, it's not going to be easy. Blue zone goes in for the knock. Ali on the ground as well. 3 players from the side of FSK. They are all on their knees begging for mercy. Monito, final player here. A double nade should be able to finish him off. Monito instead with the nade. Pascal MY goes down, and it is Tactical Intex that picks up Booyah number 3 of the league stages.
Best possible position for them to be in, and they play it to perfection. I mean, Fastkill MY, they, even though they didn't get the Booyah, I'm not upset at all. I'm fine with them not getting the Booyah because it is such a tough fight. It is such almost near impossible round for them to win. And if they win, it's great for Fastkill and Y. But if they finish in second, totally fine. It was ITX's game from the get-go, the moment we saw that final zone. So they not only get the Booyah, but I think they walked away with more than 15 kills. This is going to be huge for the team. Let's bring back our host Danley and Holler, because I'm sure that after so long, ITX have finally put themselves on the board in a good way.
Oh, they have. I mean, they're on the board so far. I think before the round started, they were sitting on a 349 points, tied with 4 X-Men. So with this, they should be able to overtake Almighty.
Yes. I think they would have been able to overtake Almighty after that abysmal display by that unfortunately blind bat on the roof. I didn't understand Almighty's play. Once again, at times they seem like they've turned over a new leaf, 180-degree change. They are so supreme out there on the battlefield. And then at times we get this sort of an Almighty. What do you think about that, Holler?
Yeah, I think they kind of it's really hit or miss. I don't know what's wrong with the team, right? I don't know what the end decisions. It just doesn't seem to kind of add up. I think that they're kind of playing more on a gut feel more than anything else, and I think that that's what worries me, right? When you're playing up against these other teams that are at a top tier. But to Tactical Intex point, Zipnu, or whatever you want to call this guy, let's call this guy a god at this point, because at this point he has the most amount of kills of any single match throughout the entire league. He had 11 kills. I actually think he might have had more, but we'll have to see at the end of the day. But when you get 11 kills on one team, like some teams don't even get 11 points in a day, right? And the fact that he got it in by himself with all the kills, Zipnu just literally taking the team, putting on his back, and carrying him throughout.
Yeah, at this point, any team that manages to pick up that grenade launcher, as long as they're careful to not blow themselves up with it, they should be able to bag quite a number of points, Danny. And we've been seeing that all through the competition. The grenade launcher is the meta.
It's not just the grenade launcher, it's grenades in general. And I love how teams are using it. They're using it because last time it was all about the glue balls. Who had more glue balls, who had the better placed glue balls. But now that you have grenades to, as you consider it a soft counter really to glue walls, teams need to adjust to this new meta, and they can't purely rely on these two things anymore. They need to be creative moving forward. I mean, they've got to use their time turner more carefully, because if that's on cooldown, then what do you have? There's nothing that can really protect you from that AoE.
I think it comes down to the glue walls just marking where players are, right? Because everyone will be just like right up against it. So it just makes it very easy for, hey, if I could just kind of throw it over the wall just a little bit, then I know that I can hit my shots, right? And so we've seen that there's the growth of the players. It's like we talk about the meta or whatever. Grenades are always going to be meta, right? But it's one of those things where the skill has actually improved throughout the league, where they're able to hit those shots, just throw it just barely over the glue walls to make sure that they end up securing those kills and those knocks, which have just really paid off in spades.
And I mean, even though Fasco and I didn't get the booyah, we saw the amount of fight they put up, right? I mean, they gave Tactical Intex a run for the money. That could have easily gone bad. I mean, Fasco had to swim across the river while getting shot from the top of the hill. I don't know how many million glue walls that they had, but the fact that they survived for so long, it all came down to, I can't remember who was it, but there was one Tactical Intex player that completely shut down. I think it was Shah who completely shut down Fasco and Y's push onto that high ground with that LMG. I mean, if it's not for him, I think Fasco and Y would have actually been able to get close enough to make a difference.
Yeah, and I thought 4X-Men Expert would be able to be the game changer for Fastkill MY in that position, right? But even at that point, Tactical Intex, they handled 2 fights at the same time and they did not lose momentum at all. Granted, yes, the blue zone was putting on a lot of pressure on 4X-Men Expert, but it was Tactical Intex that took advantage of that, continuously placed that pressure, focused on 2 fights at the same time and took the upper hand in that.
They could afford to though, because I was looking at their inventories and they had so many glue walls. Whereas Fastkill, I think they basically expended all their resources on the low ground just trying to outlast ITX. The ITX, because they had the high ground advantage, they were just like, it's fine, we'll just throw like a couple and then we're just going to be the ones to be the aggressors. What can you do? They have the high ground advantage. So I want to say it's just a case of bad luck for Fastkill MY. Just because if the circle went in their favor, then it could have been a completely different story with ITX having to run down the hill.
Yeah, definitely unlucky circumstances, I think, for Fastkill. So, but I think it didn't affect them too much. At the end of the day, they still got second place with a decent amount of kills. So
hang on. Okay, so the thing is, right, Fastkill actually need as many points as they can get right now, because for them to close the gap between them and PXG, this is assuming PXG scored 0, which I don't think they did. They needed 60 points for these next 2 rounds if they're going to take over PXG. Now, it's almost I think it's at this point we can say it's impossible in 2 games to get 60 points, but if they could have gotten the booyah, that would have been an extra 3 points to go towards the cause.
So I don't think Fastkill need to be looking up. They need to look me behind. You know, I think that, you know, AKO Legends, Blacklist International, those are hot on the heels. They don't want to lose 3rd place. That's like the biggest thing, right? So as long as they're doing better than PXG and SAF, I mean, which they are in this case, if we're looking at this Tactical Intex with 17 kills. This is off the back of Zipnu, right? Who had 11 kills by himself. Like, this is just an absolute beast of a match that he just had played. Fastkill Malaysia was 2nd place with 14 points. Umbrella Reborn, sorry, we haven't talked too much about this team, but they really stepped up here. It's good to see them in the action. They were in hot and heavy going in, and they got 12 points there. 4X-Men Expert, they really need to step up. They did. They got 12 points as well, and that's going to get double digits for all of that. Now, Blacklist International, AKO Legends, Almighty, PXG Radicals, hey, these are top 10 teams. These are kind of in the middle area, and if you're seeing what's happening is that this group shakeup has kind of changed everything in the sense that not all those high-scoring teams are consistently doing it, and then we're seeing other teams really step up here.
Actually, speaking of teams that are not making it, I am really worried about Wheels this week because they got 7 points during their first round, and then the next 2 games they only got 1 point, which you're going to lose placements here if you're Wheels.
Well, I mean, views aside, they are stuck in a unfortunate predicament. Let's give the audience something that they're looking forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your giveaway item in here. Make sure you screenshot it so that you can claim it before the end of the broadcast. Here's a very interesting thing, guys. Tactical Intex, if they can perform anywhere near as good as they just did, they should be able to replace Blacklist International.
Yes.
Not just Blacklist,
maybe
AKO Legend
even
as well.
AKO.
Yeah, I mean,
the possibilities there.
AKO Legend and Blacklist, they are just like 1 point apart from each other. Like if Tactical Intex can overtake one, then they're gonna overtake the other as well. In fact, I think they're pretty close to Fastkill MY. Like you give them one more monstrous round, they're gonna be in top 3.
Can they do it? I never thought it would be possible to think that Tactical Intex would be, you know, near the top 3. But in the position that they are in right now, Holler, next week, I mean, from today onwards, if they can continue this streak, things can change, man.
can change, but there's not a lot of time. We're going to have to find out. Tactical Intex, I'm kind of all in on these guys. We're going to find out with match 6. This is Kalahari. AJ Husky, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Danny, as well as Hola Kalahari. The final matchup of the day. Let's see exactly how hot it's gonna be. A lot on the line. You know, from a battle that went from, a battle of supremacy for the top spots of the leaderboard down to the fight of the underdogs. Now our eyes on Tactical Intex. Can they actually make the dream run into the top 3? I am mind blown to think that that's even possible.
And they are about to show you the impossible. With that previous round, I think they definitely is a huge morale boost. We've been the Tactical Intex bandwagon has been there for quite a long time. A lot of us have been jumping on and off. But I just want to say I've been staying on that train for a very long time, and I'm glad to see it pay off. I've been called out. I've been accused of cursing them. But hey, now they're in 6th place. Look at you, Holler, because I felt the faithful has been rewarded. But if they make this round work, I will be a happy man by the end of the day. We just have to see how that's gonna pan out, though. Starting off with 4X-Man Expert at the sub, having the face-off against a Z Squad.
Yeah, let's see if or not they able to pull this off. 4X-Men Expert definitely have the vantage point here. Z Squad, are they going to be kill points merely, or will they drag a little bit of blood out of the veins from 4X-Men Expert as well? Maru cannot go in here and heal himself. The guy does not have any medkit at all, but he cheekily takes some shots up against Blade, who will be able to retaliate. Hopefully he does not get taken down, because that might just change the momentum of this fight, Husky.
Yeah, and I mean, for Z Squad, at the position that they're in right now, it feels like, to get into top 12, it's close to impossible. But this is where they can probably just play a bit more freely. And Maru is going to be knocked down, but thankfully the glue wall from Goku comes out just in time. It's going to bring Maru back up, at least give him a bit of space to work with. The fact they will now return fire onto Type 64 and set his car ablaze. They don't even get to drive it that much. And now Type 64, fortunately, has to get off his vehicle, and the push can slowly come in from the rest of Forestman Expert. They have the nade ready, and it's going to connect. And Type 64 pretty much did.
Oh, beautiful play coming in here from, I believe, who was it? Maru earlier with the nade? Either one, Goku with the nade. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the rest of the team members from Z Squad, they have backed away from this equation. They know they dropped their brother, but they had to sacrifice him in order to stay alive for a little bit longer. What are they fighting for? They are fighting for their lives. They are fighting for 57 points, because they need that in order to make it into the top 12. This one final match in here cannot give them that. One man down, the probability of them achieving that before the grand finals looks a little slim.
Yeah, and even before that, if they cannot put themselves close to metrics, I mean, chances of them making it to the grand finals is pretty much non-existent. And we're looking at like almost a 40-point gap that they have to bridge, and they have not been able to do it just yet. You look at where Z Squad is right now, completely separated from one another. You have Forestman Expert on one side, Almighty on the other near Stone Ridge. Making it into the circuit itself, it's going to be a tall task for Z Squad.
Now let's see what more will befall the side of PXG, as Auto Knockout is the contender that's right in front of them. A couple of shots coming in here towards PXG, I believe. Beautiful shots from the back, but it's not going to be able to get Insanity out of the equation yet. I am absolutely in love with Insanity's move. The guy goes onto a prone, heals himself, stands back up, and continues running. Perfect plays.
This is why I love about battle royales in general. I mean, physics, right? I mean, probably the only kind of genre you will see someone get shot a couple of times, just casually wrap a bandage around their wounds and be like, "Hey guys, I can fight once more." You get shot in the head, yeah, wrap a couple of bandages and you're ready. Use the inhaler, some extra oxygen to boost your mobility. It's kind of things that are really fun.
Almighty still taking this fight up, but 4X-Men Expert out of nowhere from the back, taking out the boys from Cannot Brain. I guess they are finishing off that battle a little earlier this time round. So in that final zone, they don't really have to be watching out for them. Cannot Brain has been that one team that has been focusing on spoiling the plays of others, and they've been quite successful in doing so.
But they are about to have the game spoiled for them for sure. On the other side, we did see Almighty running towards Zep Squad, so I think Zep Squad's pretty much going to be done so. 4 versus 2, it's pretty hard for them to play against. That is, we can say for sure that Zep Squad is not going to have a game to end the day. But Cannot Brain, thankfully they only lost 1. They still want to go for the trade, but Rybell just turns around, casually blows off the helmet of Arins. His team is there to bring him back up, but as I have said early on, Zep Squad, no more.
Unfortunate for Z Squad, they get caught up with a gunfight against Almighty. XPR, Cannot Brain still taking on 4X-Men Expert. Off screen is going to be Embalore going in for the snuff on Phoenix. Blacklist International don't look like they're doing too good. Views that one team that desperately needed to perform seems to be getting us into this stride.
And see for XPR, they are... Well, I was about to say that they are okay, but not too great. X-Men Expert coming in for the push, so this is gonna be the cleanup job for X-Men Expert. I mean, Cannot Brain, they're gonna run towards the second floor, but X-Men Expert slowly piling in. It's a matter of time before they finish off what they started.
Oh, beautiful push coming through. Literally Reborn taking that fight up against ITX off screen, getting snuffed out, but on screen it's Cannot Brain that gets eliminated by 4X-Men Expert. It's the danger zone outside. 4X-Men Expert, they did not have much of a choice. They were forced to go in for the push, and they take that pressure on quite well.
Yeah, they definitely did it with in the best possible fashion. I mean, it allowed them to have a lot more time in this round. 3 teams eliminated so far. We're down to just 9 out of 12. I mean, for Views, they are hovering around Refinery, but the main area of that spot is taken over by AKO Legend.
Yeah, let's see if or not they will be able to go in here and fight AKO for that position, or will they just hang back? So far, I don't think they are being pressured by the next safe zone. And, everybody's going to be fine and dandy. Even if they are pressured by the first zone, it's not going to be, too much of damage to tank. So they should be able to go in for a long flank. Taking the early engagements, regardless of who it is up against, really isn't worth it when you are in a position like Views is in. They cannot take any risk whatsoever, Husky.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, Blacklist International, Ray Miao from downtown snipes Ajim, who is trying to rejoin his team, but unfortunately that will have to wait as the rest of Blacklist, Clanks and Cobra, the 2 lone survivors, actually running out of the circle. They wanted to go for the loot. It will restock, but look at what PXG Radicals is doing. They're beelining towards the location of Blacklist International. It's gonna really cut the distance down and put them so close to Blacklist. And in fact, PXG Radicals, they know they have the advantage. Clanks needs to make his final stand, and this is gonna be completely pushed by PXG Radicals. He has those double glue walls and the time turner, playing with all of those line of sight. He does have the grenade launcher, but so far he's not finding much in return, and he needs to get some shots off as quick as he can. Down to 2 more glue walls in his inventory as PXG Radicals. At least they slow down just for a while, but looking at the circle, Clank will still have to take the fight. The nade flying over his head, and Clank expanding all of his utilities. Does down Insanity, but now with nothing left, Chanamo will spray him down with the Vector, and this is going to be all up to Cobra.
But I think that was amazing plays coming out of Clanks, and now Cobra needs to go in and give him that backup. Clanks can still be picked up, but the numbers game not going to be looking great on Cobra at all. Pulls out the glue wall. Here comes Ramiel with the time turner. Should be able to put on a lot of pressure, but he steps straight into the time turner. Gets snuffed out either way. Ramiel with the kill, and PXG still strutting their way in towards the next zone. Blacklist International, on the other hand, they will continue to fall. Earlier, we were talking about tactical index potentially with the opportunity to replace Blacklist International on the leaderboard. I think that might just happen. Auto knockout, are they going to get eliminated next? Because if they do, tactical index will blow my mind today.
yeah, all the chess pieces are moving in the right direction. You know, like if you are tactical Intex, you have to feel super relief that everything is going the way that it is right now. I mean, if there's anything that makes people believe in luck, is not just Argon MY's last round of the day, but it's also how Tactical Intex was almost dropped a 30 bomb in terms of points in the round before this, and now they're well on their way to not just replace Blacks International, but if they give AKO Legend a bad round, they might overtake AKO Legend, who so far is still alive and healthy with the entire squad, but that could change pretty soon because with AskUMY and Wills, they're all nearby.
Yeah, absolutely. And Views, who are so hungry, might actually be able to take out Auto Knockout. And I believe Views have got the better position as well. They do have the vantage point on them. 4X-Men Expert taking on Fastkill MY. Are they going to be able to pile on to the points that they've managed to pick up in here so far? 4 more kills means they'll jump up to 9 points. Taken gets eliminated by JZ. Almighty's already starting the work by eliminating the player from Auto Knockout. Tactical Intex going to be smiling looking at the kill feed.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's everyone who is a threat to them slowly being eliminated from the game one by one, whereas for them, they are still, you know, they still have a lot of space to make it into the later stages of the game. Onito, though, not so lucky. It's this challenge between from FSK towards Forestman Expert not really working well in their favor, despite having the high ground. I mean, Ali does down Maru and get the finisher off. That is something that FSK can be happy about because Maru was completely out of position. But for Forestman Expert, the fact that they got a kill and they trade one, they still make it into the safe zone past Refinery. That is a trade I would take any day.
Yeah, let's see if or not that trade is going to be favoring them. Umbrella Reborn might be able to distract Fastkill MY a little bit, and then later on Views. So 4X-Men Expert using that huge hill right in front of them might be able to sneak on around towards the right-hand side of Fastkill MY and then go in for the backstab. So let's just see exactly how the plays drop out here for the side of 4X-Men Expert. From across the field, we can take a quick peek at AKO as well, but look at this cluster of squads. PXG on the approach of Views as well. Views, they need to start moving forward. But even if they do, they have to make sure they do not get caught from the back. PXG, they are pressured now to move on into the zone. Views, can they gatekeep? Can they snuff out the Kings that are trying to with SAF? I think that fight's the next one that they have to jump on into.
Yeah, and if they don't want to fight Refinery, it is time to jump off. Take the leap of faith, Assassin's Creed style. For FSK, they can still hang around. It's only UMB near them, and I think Ali has a good position, but he's already shot, I believe, by Forestman Expert, so it's not too safe for FSK if that is going to be the events that will happen next. PXG Radicals coming in from the northern side. They will be gate kept by Wills. AKO Legend, though, they have a free pass, so this Refinery Circle working out pretty well for Fastkill MY.
Did I forget it? Did I miss it? Did Tactical Intex get eliminated?
No, they are still in the game.
I've not seen them in a while. I mean, like, we literally have gotten a peek at every single team except Tactical Intex. Where are they actually hiding out here on the battlefield? We switch on over to Views, who are trying to snuff out the players from Almighty. Mbalore getting the kill off of Shira. Someone else there went in for the knock. Oh!
What?
And they punish Mbalore for stealing anything. Beautiful knock from across. And now Jay-Z alive and kicking. Auto knockout right in front. Views should be able to snuff out Almighty as well as AKO. Almighty getting knocked out of the equation, and now Auto knockout. They are going to get caught off guard. Are they going to be able to perhaps take this fight back up? It's not going to be easy at all. They can get the head glitch onto the players from Views, which might be a blessing in disguise.
This is horrible for AKO. They have no way to make it onto the high ground. As you wanted to see ITX, here they are in the crosshairs of PXG Radicals. Insanity is going to downshot. This is super hard for ITX to even make it forward, so for them it's all about getting as much point as possible. They didn't wipe out Forestman Expert to put themselves in a better position, but PXG Radicals proves to be a huge challenge as now they would take the lead in terms of kills. Fastkill MY completely getting ran over corner by UMB. How is this happening? I mean, Ali is the last man alive. His tactical index will finally be wiped out by Tanamo's grenade, but it's only a matter of time. Look at this circle, so deadly. It's between the high and the low ground, and it comes down to who can survive the long fight. PXG Radicals will have to take on AKO by hook or by crook, but everyone else is fighting in the compounds of Refinery.
And this is not even the final zone just yet, so all of those who are holding on to the high ground, you know exactly what it is, Husky. They need to start finding an entrance to take a little bit of space underneath this platform. Auto knockout getting snuffed out by PXG, and therefore Umbrella Reborn, they know exactly what they're going up against. PXG trying to catch up with SAF. That's been a fight, that's been a push that they've been on for the whole day. But Views, remember, this is one of those teams that we have been keeping our eyes peeled for, and they seem to be doing amazing in terms of survival. They're going to allow PXG to take the fight up against the fast kill MY. Umbrella Reborn backing away, might be able to go in for a quick gunfight against Views. And if Views are able to overcome Umbrella Reborn, that puts them into the third place fight. Let's see if or not they'll be able to pull this off. They are down one man, and they need a lot of luck.
It's very rare for us to get an urban warfare, but here we go. At Refinery, it's going to be 2 floors, all the nades. Look at it, they're bouncing left and right. It feels like a dodgeball competition as iPad's going to land 2 onto PXG Radicals. Umbrella Reborn might be able to just do this and get that first booyah. I mean, they have the high ground, and Fast Kill MY is going to be knocked out, but iPad's down to the blue zone. They trying to outlast the blue zone. It's not going to happen. It's going to be PXG Radicals by skin of the team with just one more tick of the health from Raimi outside, and he survives, and that is all they need. PXG Radicals with that final booyah of the day to close out the week.
That's the first time for everything, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, playing the game of health. He tops his health back up outside of the zone, but I think that's the best thing that you could have done. I mean, anticipate exactly where the zone is going to go, and there was no way you can take the fight up against some of these players who might be on different sorts of elevation, hiding behind those hills. It's just an impossible situation to overcome, and therefore, he wins the battle without going into a fight, and those are the kind of opponents you really, really, really need to look out for, Husky. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's bring back Danny as well as Holler. Thank goodness I have not had to look out for Danny's tough questions today.
I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there's a thunderstorm outside, and I think that's a sign that we're going to be looking at some massive changes on the leaderboard. I'm really looking forward to seeing where everyone is today.
It was a crazy game. PXG Radicals, just a ton of kills, and it was spread throughout. Like, this team is so well balanced. There's no, like, you know, one killer like Zipnu from ITX. Yeah. It's just everybody can get your kills. You gotta be careful of everybody. Yep. They're just really in sync. They're really well coordinated. I mean, props to PXG. This is why this is the top 3 team, and they're not going away. It doesn't matter what they do, and I think they can even fall asleep for next weekend because they don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, and it's one of the rarer final circles, right? Most of the circles we get are like, you know, high ground to the low ground, you know, a house with a house and a homeless. But this is just pure urban warfare. And everyone is just tossing their utilities. Everyone is trying to out-heal each other. Yeah. I mean, it could have gone either way. I mean, it could have been PXG Radicals. To a certain extent, Umbrella Reborn had a good shot at it if they just started hitting a bit sooner. So maybe PXG Radicals not the cleanest game, but they're gonna take it either way. This puts them again closer to SAF, even though they're still a distance in terms of points. But I think PXG Radicals, you give them a couple more games like this, we might see a huge comeback by the end of the league stage.
My biggest question here is, did Tactical Intex manage to overtake Blacklist International as well as Auto Knockout? I have a feeling they might have been able to. There was so much of chaos moving in towards that final circle. I forgot the sequence of, you know, those teams dying off. But I have a feeling they might have been able to pull off the impossible here, guys. I think Tactical Intex lost their life, in 6th or 7th place. So placement points wise, they're not going to be doing too great. But they did manage to pick up quite a number of kills for themselves.
Yeah. I think
I want to see how many points they got that offset what their opponents got, right? Because that's the most important thing. Because if the teams that they're trying to go over score too many points, then they're not going to get it.
Yeah.
So I think personally, I'm just looking at the numbers here before we look at the numbers from the match that's just been played. It'll be close. I think they'll just miss out from the numbers I have. I think, but I could be wrong.
But
I feel
it's
like
sorry, go on, Husky.
they probably would overtake Blacklist, but maybe not AKO because
Yeah, maybe.
Tactical Intex got taken out by PXG, so AKO kind of survived slightly longer. So maybe not AKO, but ITX is still going to be pretty close to AKO Legends regardless. Blacklist International though, there's a huge chance that ITX won in terms of points just because Blacklist had a pretty underwhelming game.
Yeah.
All right, well, for the record, Blacklist was 9th, Tactical Intex was 6th, AKO was actually 5th, but we're going to find out in terms of round standings. PXG Radicals, of course, with the Booyah and the Monster 12 kills. Umbrella Reborn, big shout out to these guys. They're really stepping strong, and they're going to look to finish the league very strong, give a run for the money, try to do their best. Woos with 13, 4X Men Expert 10, but Tactical Intex will get you the 8. Technically, that's higher, of course, and then the AKO Legend with a paltry 2. Are you kidding me, Blacklist?
They keep falling. It's like they go on to they take the slide, and is they can't stop. They're still going down. I think Blacklist International, this is not the first time that they went on this downward spiral, but towards the end of the league stage, it hits different. It's a bit scarier than
Time to hold your breaths.
They did it. They did it.
Wow.
Top 5.
They made it in. I mean, 3 points above Blacklist International, but they're still only 3 points behind AKO Legend. They're it's going to be a rat race. I think that these 3 teams or so, I mean, Fastkill Malaysia kind of pulling away a little bit, but they're still within arm's reach, I would say, especially since we have 2 more play days ahead of us. But I think PXG, SAF, let's not even talk about those guys because they're so far ahead that there's really no chance for them. But hey, this is turning into a race just for the finish, making sure you're in the money, getting as much money as possible going in. But look at number 12. Throughout it all, Argon Malaysia. This is a big shout out to these guys. These guys have put in a strong day. Argon Malaysia was 14th, and they had a very strong one with 2 booyahs. They got themselves into the 12th spot. Argon Malaysia. We have seen these guys at the very bottom, and seeing them in the 12th, this is a big prop to them in the sense of all the hard work that they've put in. They've got 2 more play days to finish strong, but hey, this is Argon Malaysia. Big shout out.
No, absolutely, man. And the other teams, they cannot rest easy at all because just as today was a day where, in that one day, things can change so much on the leaderboards, next week, it will continue to be as crazy as this week. But a huge shout out to PXG Radicals once again. They keep doing the impossible. Now just 58 points behind SAF. Next week, at the end of the league stages, I want to see exactly how close PXG is able to cut this.
Yeah, PXG has the most booyah right now. First team to reach 10 booyahs. I mean, just props to them, right? They've hit the double digits for round wins. But of course, we have some things to give away to everyone else out there. Of course, it's the giveaway code. Again, first come, first serve. Whoever keys in the code is gonna get the reward regardless. So just do it. The stream is ending soon, and by the time it ends, you're not gonna get anything. So might as well do it right now.
All right, so make sure you do redeem that one. Share that across, of course, with all the streams that are going. I mean, the stream is gonna end. Honestly, I could end it in a snap, but I won't, just to give yourself a little bit of a chance in terms of the code. We're going to wait a little bit longer, and we're going to break it down one last time. Okay, there's going to be 2 more play days that are coming ahead, right? So, Mustachio, tell me, what team are you like, hey, this team, I'm worried about them. I think they're going home. They're going to go home with like 200 USD. I mean, which isn't bad, but they don't have a chance at the grand finale.
It's going to be very, very difficult, but I think Argon MY might actually lose their 12th spot because Metrics is the kind of team that has got crazy amount of quality. We've seen them do it in the past. They've picked up 4 booyahs in here so far. I do not see it being too far-fetched for them picking up 2 next week because that's the kind of position they've been put in right now in that 14th spot, right? I won't be here next week with you guys on that Saturday or Sunday. So I'm really, really sad to not be able to see exactly how it goes down, man.
All right, so Husky, what about you? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, there's only 4 teams now that actually has a really good chance of making having the position change, right? Do Easy, Wheels, Oregon MY, and Freedom Rumble. I kind of feel like Do Easy, this is a slightly better week for them, but but they haven't been super consistent, right? If there's any team that has the biggest possibility of dropping out of top 12, I feel like Do Easy is that team on the ropes, even though they're in 10th place, but they don't have that big of a lead. 1 point ahead of Views, 9 points ahead of Argon MY. Just one good game can turn the tides around. So I'm most worried for Do Easy.
All right, so it looks like that's going to be the end of day 10. We've got only 2 more play days at the MCP Season 2. On behalf of Husky, AJ, Denny, and myself, Holler, have yourself a great one, and we will see you next week.
When we show up, we're bringing it strong. There's nothing that can beat us. Yeah, we heard it all before. That cheap talk can't defeat us. Step on my toes, I get in your face. Nobody's ever taking our place. We're gonna tell you, you can't knock us down.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXD Radicals, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Metrics eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past this 3 you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill!
Intakes right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, that's you.